Yeah, I had to go live tonight. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't went live in a minute. Solo dolo. But shit, some people supposed to be tapping in. We gonna see. We gonna see. It's a lot to talk about tonight. For real. I'm gonna give people time. When you tap in, drop a comment. Drop a comment below once you tap in. I had to go live on this Friday night. I wasn't doing shit else. Like I might as well hop on YouTube for real. I ain't lying to y'all. Ooh, my baby tapped in. Skull, she already know. I'm gonna see if my man gonna tap in. I gave him the link. I'm gonna see what he gonna say. I want to see if my man gonna tap in because I gave him the link to come on here and talk his shit for real. What up, though, Neff? My Neff JJ in the building. What up, Neff? How I feel? I feel good. How about Vikings? The Vikings, man. The Vikings. Hey, they can upset a lot of people come Monday, man. I'm gonna talk about the Vikings later on. I'm gonna talk about the Vikings a lot later on tonight. Because the Vikings can upset the 49ers, though. Don't get me wrong. But they can lose, but they can upset them. Because the 49ers got the big head for real. I'm not gonna lie. I want to talk about this Michigan though, man. Like, what's going on with Michigan, Harbaugh, and the NCAA for real? Like, what's going on with that? Uncle Zo. Let me see. Uncle Zo. Oh yeah, we go crazy on Saturday night. Saturday night's one of the best shows. You ask me. I bet your second team is the Lions. You know what crazy about that though, JJ? For real, for real. I'm not really a Lion fan for real though, JJ. Like when I grew up, the Lions ain't playing Detroit, so that's was the reason why I never liked the Lions. And plus, they lost. But the Lions used to play in the suburbs in Michigan. They used to play in Pontiac. The Lions just moved to downtown Detroit within the last 15 years. But at first, the Lions ain't playing Detroit. So I used to be confused when they called the Detroit Lions. Like y'all motherfucker playing Pontiac, man. The Lions Stadium was like an hour and a half from my crib, and I live in Detroit. But look, man, why do the college football hate Michigan so bad? Like, why do they hate them so much? Purple FT is one of the most ultimate Viking fans. Is that purple FTW? Is that the people? I begin see. I get that show confused with the people. It'd be three people on the Viking podcast. Is that the same one? Oh, let me look. I'm gonna look that name, Purple FTW. Hold on one second, nephew. I'm about to look it up and do I mess with dog page or what? He got a whole bunch of subscribers. Oh hell no, I don't like that page. He does his own podcast. No, I ain't got no knock on him. I don't know him though, but I don't really watch his page for real though. Like I don't follow his page at all for real. I might see a few videos, but that's probably like once in a blue moon for real. I really don't watch the dog page for real. He is very optimistic about the Minnesota Vikings. I can say that. I can say that. Yes, he is. He is that. And me, like you could be optimistic though, but at the end of the day, man, you gotta keep it real, man. You gotta keep it real on this. Like, I don't know. See, I did my YouTube channel because I talk about all football teams. 'Cause I really watch football and was brought up in football. So I keep it real on all football teams on all levels for real. And I just really got into college football like 15 years ago for real. But I used to always watch Michigan because my uncles and them a big Michigan fan. So it was fuck Michigan State and fuck Ohio State the way I was brought up. But shit, I ain't got no ill will toward Michigan State. They still Michigan though. But shit. But no, I don't watch dog page like that for real. He going crazy though, I see. But I keep my I only Viking content creators I watch is the people I deal with. And I watch I think it called Purple Daily or Purple for Days or Purple Day, something like that. It'd be three people on the show. I watch they show because they be keeping it real when they talk about the Vikings though. I like they show. They show be straight. They need to put me on that motherfucker one day. We really get them. Yeah, Purple Daily good. They need to put me on there. We really get them down views up. Yeah, they shit straight though, but man. Do you watch college football, JJ? Who your favorite college team? Don't tell me it's the Gophers, man. Do not tell me it's the Minnesota Gophers, man. Your favorite college football team. For real, don't tell me that. Unfortunately, son. You still can work for the Vikings though, but at the end of the day, you got to keep it real. They gonna respect that. If anything, they gonna respect your honesty about the Minnesota Vikings because you a Minnesota Vikings fan and you want the Minnesota Vikings to win. If you see some shit ain't going right, be real. Don't lie and say, "Yeah, this look good." No, call it what it is. I feel you though, and you doing good though. I be watching your videos. You be talking your talking, and you young too. You got a bright future for real. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't watch college. I like golf and other Jones. Okay, you like the Gophers? I mean, the Gophers ain't shit, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. The Gophers ain't never been good in football. LSU straight, they okay. But Jalen Naylor, yeah, he no, and that Jalen Naylor came from Michigan State. You gotta make sure you put state behind that Michigan. He ain't come from Michigan. He came from Michigan State. He wore green and white. He ain't wear blue and gold. The college football right now, they can't stand Michigan for real, man. They mad Michigan got a top program and Michigan is back on top in the Big Ten. They love when Ohio State will run in the Big Ten and Michigan come beat them. Since Michigan started beating Ohio State ass, you start seeing all type of stuff about Michigan, man. Man, yeah, JJ, yeah, don't do that, JJ. It's two different Michigan teams, man. Michigan and Michigan State. Don't get them too confused. Michigan State probably would never be on Michigan level for real. Michigan is a top program in college football, and that's why the NCAA hate Michigan so bad. You be seeing all the articles they talking about Harbaugh. Every article they talking about Harbaugh and violated this or he done did this or like what y'all talking about? That's crazy. They hate Michigan so bad they coming out with anything to try to derail Michigan, man. But at the end of the day, you can't stop greatness, man. For real. Michigan for real look like they're gonna win the whole championship, man. If everybody stay healthy, cause Georgia can't beat Michigan, man. I'm gonna be real with you. Can't no team right now in college football beat Michigan, man. How you feel about Kirk Cousins? Hell yeah, I still hate Kirk Cousins. Like, what? Why would my feeling change about Kirk Cousins? What had Kirk Cousins done this year for me to feel another type of way towards Kirk Cousins? Shit, Kirk Cousins is one of the damn problems for the Minnesota Vikings, man, and one of my problems because he got my team stuck in the mediocre crap that we are stuck in. I can't stand Kirk Cousins. I hate Kirk Cousins. I don't care how nobody feel. Man, I wish Uncle Tony Mike were here. There'd be a show. Oh, it's gonna be a show regardless. It's gonna be a show, and Mike might tap in. I talked to Mike. He might tap in with us, but I ain't talked to Tony though. I can't wait to get Tony on here. I ain't talked to him. But yeah, if a show gonna be a show tonight, I'm gonna tell you that much. If a show gonna be there, I'm gonna talk about Michigan, college football. I'm gonna talk about the Vikings, and I'm gonna talk about what's going on in the NFC. The NFC, what's going on with them? For real. Cause the Lions looking like right now, the Lions look like they got a chokehold on the NFC North, and I ain't never seen this before. For real. Chicago Bears, they ain't shit, you know. Oh yeah. I'm hip to them. Oh, you met both of them? That's what's up. Yeah, they is. Yeah, I be seeing them on the internet too. I be seeing a couple of their stuff on the internet. I ain't gonna lie. That's what I told you, man. You gonna be you young too, and you into this already at the age you at. Man, by the time you hit 18 to 17, man, get out your way. For real. Like right now, you young. So you gonna say I want to talk positive, but as you get older and you see the shit been going on with the Minnesota Vikings for the past few years and before, your mind frame gonna change. You're gonna be mad as hell. But the Minnesota Vikings, man, they in a good spot right now, man. They in a good spot for real. If they hit on that NFL draft, they got to hit on the. We need a quarterback, man. We need a quarterback for real. I wouldn't mind if the Minnesota Vikings drafted JJ from Michigan though. 'Cause I think JJ for real can play in the NFL level, man. I think JJ can play. Oh yeah. You gotta I tag them too. You gotta tag everybody when you make a video. Like you gotta tag the Vikings, ESPN, CBS Sports. You got to tag everybody who talk about sports. Put them in your hashtags and tag them when you talk about videos. So a lot of other people can see your channel too, though. And you might get a lot of other Vikings fans for real. I talk about the Vikings mainly though, but I talk about all NFL teams on my channel though. Because I got a lot of friends and family who who football fans. Everybody got their own different people. Yeah, that good. They for sure. You put enough videos out there, a lot of people gonna see them videos though. For real though. The Vikings, JJ, man. What quarterback you like coming out in this NFL draft? I don't know how I don't you say you don't watch college football like that though, but I know you've been doing your homework on some quarterbacks because the Minnesota Vikings, man, need a quarterback, and we need one in the first round. What quarterback do you like? We got to get a quarterback, man, if we want to get over this hump we in. Because the Minnesota Vikings offense is trash. We need a quarterback, man. That's the bottom line. We got to get a quarterback, man. You see Green Bay. Green Bay don't know what the fuck to do. They lost without a quarterback. Chicago, I think Chicago gonna get Caleb Williams though for real. Caleb Williams 100% at first, but I'm liking JJ. Yeah, JJ my guy. JJ my guy, dude. I ain't gonna lie to you. Bo Nix, Jordan Travis. Yeah, I like Jordan. I don't like Bo Nix. I'm not gonna lie to you. To me, Bo Nix okay though. I really don't like the offense he run at Oregon though. But he all right though. But man, he probably had to be my last choice. If all the other quarterbacks gone, or whatever the case might be, I probably would draft Bo Nix, but I want another quarterback. My boy Mike Longfellow, what's the deal? What you say, Kirk, you overrated and overpaid? Trash. Damn, that's how you feel about your quarterback? Guess what, Mike? We feel the same way. I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't stand Kirk Cousins, man. I cannot wait when Kirk Cousins lead the Minnesota Vikings, man. This off season, man. I cannot wait. Kirk Cousins get on my damn nerves. Hey, you ever been to a Viking game? Yeah, I've been to three Vikings games. I've been to the game when the Vikings played the Giants. They came to Detroit because the Metrodome had collapsed. And I've been to the Lions and Vikings game like twice. Probably more than that though. But yeah, I've been to the Vikings game when they came to Detroit for sure. And like I said, I've been to the game when they played the Giants when the Metrodome collapsed. That was a few years ago. I've been to some Vikings game. I ain't never been to Minnesota though. I ain't never been to Minnesota, but I've been to some Vikings game. And my Minnesota Vikings, man, need a quarterback, man. For real though. Like, why we keep on playing with this Kirk Cousins shit? And why did we get Kirk Cousins a contract with no trade clause? Like, that was dumb. Like, who do that? You knew you wasn't gonna sign Kirk Cousins next year because you rejected a deal. So why would you give this man a new contract, a 1 year contract, and say no trade clause? That was dumb. Oh man, you should visit. I'm gonna visit Minnesota one day though, for real. Probably I might go to Minnesota next year for real. I was supposed to go to Skull Fest, but shit, them Bill got to creep it in. Shit, I couldn't make it to Skull Fest this year though. I'm gonna go next year though for sure. I'm for sure going to a Minnesota Viking game next year though. I gotta see what that stadium about and that Mall of America. Gotta see that, man. But we need a quarterback, man. We need a damn quarterback in the Minnesota Vikings, man. For real. Kirk Cousins could be better if he had a better line. I know you won't like it, but I think we should. Kirk Cousins. Oh, this is my guy, man. My guy tapped in with us, man. And no, JJ, I do not want to stand Kirk Cousins. This is my guy. This right here is one of the number one Lions fans, man. He about to tap in right now to talk some bullshit y'all might not want to hear. My guy, Big T, what's the deal?
Man, what up, though, man?
How you feel?
Oh, man, I'm feeling good. What's going on?
Man, I ain't think you were gonna tap in with me for real, dog.
Yeah, man, I was trying to get my camera situation together, man. I got it, though.
Yeah, man. So what's going on? How you feel about your Lions, man?
Look, man, I'm going after a dub this week, of course. You know that is happening, though. We definitely go get this dub this week. I just think we better in Baltimore at all facets of the game. Right now, we clicking on all cylinders, man.
So
Special
you think
teams,
so? So you
defense.
think so you think the Lions gonna get a W at Baltimore?
Yeah, that being on the road don't mean nothing to me no more, man. And that ain't on no crazy tip either, man. It's just it's I'm just looking at what's been happening. That's all. I ain't going crazy. I ain't saying we winning the whole Super Bowl and all this yet. But just going on what I seen through 6 weeks, the Lions is ready, man. They and winning on the road ain't a problem. We 6-1 in our last 7 road games.
Yeah, you right about that, though. And
Winning on the road don't scare us no more.
like I told you earlier, though, man, like the Ravens offense is raggedy, though.
Yeah, no, the Ravens struggling to score against everybody. So when they meet a better defense like what we got, I think it's going to cause problems for them. I'm just hoping that Lamar want to stay in the pocket and try to throw the ball. And if that happened, then I got the Lions winning this game easily.
Hey, that's crazy, though. We talking about the Lions being the top team in the NFL.
Yeah, it'd be hard to believe for me sometimes, man.
That
It
shit,
really
I still can't believe it.
But look, all we can go on is the body of work, and the body of work say they one of the top teams. They top 10 offense. They got a top 10 defense. If they make a move to get better, it'll really tell how serious the Lions are about trying to win a Super Bowl. If they think their time is right now.
Dude, you got Lion fan tapping in. That's my guy right there, dog. He say Lions could win the NFC.
For sure.
They could. I ain't
But
gonna lie.
look,
They could. They
right,
could though, because
it's hard for people to fathom the Lions winning because they haven't won even a playoff game in so many years that it's hard to even believe. But it's not like it haven't happened before. Some teams can go from nothing to something immediately. It happens sometimes. Tampa Bay did it. The Rams really did it on the real. If the pieces is there, sometimes you can go from nothing to something immediately. Sometimes it happened that way.
my boy Landon tapped in with me. That's my guy right there. Yeah, man. It's crazy, man. Like you said, like we in the city though, and
Right.
there's so many Lion fans.
Yeah, it is. They represent too.
It's like now y'all getting y'all. It's like now y'all getting y'all shine though. At
Yeah,
the
man.
end of the day, you can't be mad though.
Nah, it do. I'm gonna tell you, it feel good, man. It just feel good to have a winning organization that look like it's headed in the right direction. That on the real, even if you don't win it all, or what I'm saying, you make it to the playoffs, you win a game or two, or whatever the case may be. For Lion fans, though, it feel like it's heading in the right direction. But I'm not giving up on the season in the sense that we can't win it all. I believe that from what I've seen through 6 games, and that's just taking the body of work that I've seen through 6 games, I believe they can play with any team in the league. Well, if I think you can play with any team in the league, then you got a good chance as anybody to win it. That's just how I
Yeah,
feel.
yeah. I would say in the NFC, y'all top two. Cause I ain't got no, like I told you before, I ain't got no faith in Jalen Hurts like that, like other people do.
Well, I'm one of the ones who got faith in Jalen Hurts. So
Yeah, you do.
I believe in Jalen Hurts.
Man, I ain't
But
got no
I
faith.
think he's a better quarterback than he even get credit for being. And
I
I know
don't
you
know,
think
man.
that's crazy.
I gotta go off of one. I just can't go off of 1 year of body work.
So you'll give what about this year? Where they at record wise?
Man, they got lucky and trash. The Minnesota Vikings played them. Kirk Cousins and Minnesota Vikings. Listen here though, T. The Minnesota Vikings averaged 30.1 time this year, and that was against the Eagles, if I'm not mistaken. I'm about to look it up. But the Eagles offense is raggedy. The Minnesota Vikings have 5 or 4 turnovers in that game, and they barely lost by 1 possession. The Eagles offense ain't clicking.
Yeah, I get what you're saying on that, but I feel like that. I feel like those types of games can happen to any team at any time, at any point of the season. Though I feel like that's just football on the real. Like
What you
sometimes you
mean?
get away with somebody turning the ball over by that much, but you still don't beat them by that much. Sometimes it just happens. I think that's just what happened in this
Yeah, I
game.
feel you though, but okay, the Vikings scored 28 though, but on the back end, the Eagles ain't throw the ball good in that game. They ran that ball down our throat.
No, the Eagles' offense haven't looked like it looked last year.
That's what I'm saying. Like the
If you
Eagles
saying that,
offense.
right? Yeah, I actually agree with you on that. The Eagles' offense haven't looked like it looked last year. It's definitely not as potent as it was last year. But it's just looking at the way the NFL season going and looking at what's everything out there. You know that far as like as of right now, as of right this second, through what we've seen through 6 weeks, Philly in the NFC, Philly, Detroit, and San Fran and even I know it's going to be folks who going to want to put the Cowboys in that too.
No,
But
you ain't got to do that. You ain't got to
okay,
do
well,
that.
Philly, San Fran, and Detroit. All three of those teams look like they got the ability to win it if they get on that run in the playoffs. All three of them do. I would be scared of Philly just like I am of San Fran. I'm not crazy to just put Philly away. Like I just don't think they got it yet. You could hit that little stride, and then sometimes when you've been to a championship like they did last year, sometimes the regular season be a little boring to you because you really just want to get to the playoffs. And I kind of feel like that's what's happening with Philly. The regular season, they doing what they got to do to get by, and they doing what they got to do to get wins. I give them that. But I feel like this regular season is really I feel like really Philly just want to see the playoffs get here, because it seemed to me like they just really want to say, just give us one more shot. But sometimes you miss your window from not getting it done when you get there too, though.
Yeah, and I tell you this though, Philly got a bad boy on their hands this weekend, the Dolphins.
Yeah, for sure. Philly got a tough game. I'm taking Philly in that game. I think that I'm not taking them for no money, but I believe Philly gonna win that game.
So let me ask you this though: do you feel like the Lions can get the number 1 seed in the NFC?
Yeah, and I was just gonna tell you, man, I'm pulling for y'all boys this week, man. I don't normally pull for them dudes, but man, I'm gonna have to pull for them this week
Hey
because it
man,
could be the matter
listen
of
here,
having the
man.
number one seed in the NFC.
We family, man. Don't do my Vikings like that, man.
we need
Don't do,
we need y'all to pull off that upset victory this week.
my guy T-Bass said Dolphin get to put together Olympic relay team. Yeah, they team fast. They offense is nasty, man.
Yeah, man.
Then I think that was the problem come in there. I don't think, because first off, listen here, man. The Minnesota Vikings offense put up 28 points on the Philly defense at
Yeah.
Philly.
Right, yeah.
And I think the Dolphins, with that offense they have, will make Philly score some points. And you won't be able to run the ball down the Miami Dolphin throats like you did Minnesota.
No, I'm gonna tell you the other dangerous part of Miami is that they running the ball well too.
I was about to say that
a
too.
lot of people pay attention to how well they do with these super fast receivers, but Miami can run the ball. Miami is tough at the line when it comes to getting a first down, a first and short. They tough at the goal line when they can hand that ball off to their running back Moser, but. Miami is just a whole tough team to deal. I believe that the only teams that can even deal with Miami is teams with like A1 superb defenses. Like if you don't have an A1 defense, then Miami just will take the top off of you. That's why I still got a little bit of. That's the reason why I think Philly is really gonna win this game. I believe that Philly defense. I believe they're gonna touch Tua a little bit, and I want to see Tua get touched this year, and see what he do when he get touched. when somebody puts some hands on him and he can't let those routes develop all the time.
Hey, can you see the shit I post on the screen?
No.
Oh, my man T-Bass say, I'm sorry, buddy, but the Viking got a 1% chance of beating the 49ers.
Damn. Yeah, oh yeah, I see it up there now. Yeah, dude.
Okay.
He say they got a 1% chance.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, we're gonna have to pull for these Vikings because I need this L put on San Fran.
He say 1%. But man.
I'm hoping if it comes down to a San Fran got that's man. Look, as a Lions fan, that's so crazy to even be talking in week 7. Like, I'm hoping if it come down to a San Fran gotta come here in the playoffs. Like,
man, Detroit will go crazy, man.
We'll go crazy, man. It's gonna be, man. Listen, the Lions play one playoff game here. One. It's gonna go nuts, man. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, man. I don't trust Philly offense, man. Philly offense is suspect. And I've been telling people
it's been suspect all year, too.
And I've been telling people all year and before the season start. I had no faith in this offense. Listen, man. I like Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, what I'm waiting on is Jalen Hurts. Like, we into week 6. When is Jalen Hurts gonna have a breakout, like a big game, like a monster game this year?
He gonna need a Sunday.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm looking at. I'm like, man, can they hold Tua to somewhere around 27 points? Can it happen like that? I know Buffalo did it, but I'm saying, can they hold Tua somewhere around 24, 27, and they actually put up 30, but then that means Jalen gonna have to have a really good game in order to put up 30.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, he haven't had this breakout game yet. The offense definitely haven't looked like it looked last year. So is it gonna happen this week? This is a big game. Sometimes too, man, big players get up for big games. So that's why I got to keep my little faith in Jalen, because like last year, what Jalen did and the way he rolled, he got the heart to do it. That's what I know.
That's my problem. Everybody talking about last year.
No, I get you, but we don't have that much to look at on Jalen. We only got a couple of seasons to look at. So his advancement from season from 1 to 2 was incredible. And like I said, I believe that this year's slower start and whatnot is just a little bit of Hank. Like, Philly is really like when the playoffs start. That's kind of where they at. And they've been talked about like they're going to be definitely the number one contender to win the Super Bowl and all that. They heard that same shit off season and everything. So I just think they just a little sour. But this is one of those games where if it turned out to be what we expect it to be, just a great game, because that's what I'm hoping it turned out to be. I'm hoping it just turned out to be a great game, so it's a good watch. But if it does, and this is one of those games where Jalen's supposed to get up right here. This is where it's got to happen.
He got to.
Yeah, this is where it's got to happen.
My boy T-Bass say San Fran has to do it, punch them in the face at the beginning, and they will fold. The team is soft and had no heart, just like the head coach, a.k.a. Richie Cunningham. Damn. Man,
Kirk got Minnesota around here getting dogged out across the country, don't he?
Man, I can't, man, dog. Listen here, man. People like Kirk Cousins. I don't know why. He don't win. He don't win. Like they
like ride for Kirk Cousins like he a superstar, don't they?
Yeah, but some people get in love with numbers. Like the boy don't win. I don't give a fuck. He threw for 6,000 passing yards and no playoff win. What the fuck do that mean?
Right. I agree with you. It's like, when do you win the big game, man? And that's what it's always going to come down to. When do you win the big game, man? It's period, point blank. Everybody gonna hear about all them stats. Padding stats don't mean shit to me, because those padded stats to me. Like Kurt, like look at what Kurt did last year. A lot of Kurt's stats from last year, he played from behind in a lot of games. He came back to win games. I give him credit for that. But, man, a lot of times you get padded numbers. When you go to where the second half of the football game, you got to throw the ball 32 times, man. I mean, what do you think? Of course he's going to get some numbers out of that. But when do you win the big game? When do you ever be in a meaningful game and you come up with the W? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Okay, you already know how I feel about Kirk Cousins,
right? I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah, like I told you, I'm looking toward the NFL draft, man. Because if the Minnesota Vikings get hit on this quarterback, we back.
Right? Yeah,
we got the offense.
Right? No, y'all definitely got the offensive weapons.
We just ain't got the quarterback for real.
Right? Yeah, no.
And I'm tired of his ass.
And we've been saying that. We've been saying that for a few years already. So we already talking about, bro. Kirk Cousins ain't that dude. He's just not that dude who will go get you a Super Bowl. So if he's not that, then it's time to move on. That's just how I look at
man.
It.
So
if
look
not
though,
that dude.
So like I told you before, man, I seen this shit on Twitter. Jared Goff won 5 years, $300 million guaranteed. Do you give it to him?
As of right now, I'm a no. But if they shot a move before the trade deadline and they brought over another receiver and and they get him, and I'm not talking about just a utility guy or anybody. I'm talking about a really good receiver that really help this unit out. And then and Jared Goff can make something happen with it, then I consider paying him at that point. But as of just right this second to give Jared Goff $300 million with the quarterback class that's coming out, no, I don't see it.
Hey, my man De Niro John, what's the deal, my guy? He said Lions are arguably the best team in the NFL. He said we definitely living in a simulation equal matrix confirmed. Yeah, that shit crazy. We talking about the Lions on here, dude.
Right, yeah, man. And look, man, it's just crazy, man, because you be hearing folks talk about the Lions, and I be hearing other analysts and commentators talk about the Lions, and I'll just be like, is this the Lions they talking about like this?
Man, that shit crazy, man. He say our head coach worse than the quarterback. He more of the problem. I blame both, man. They just
Yeah,
tired
I
of
think
Kirk.
but I definitely think y'all head coach ain't that dude either though.
I don't think so neither, though.
Yeah,
But at the
you've been
same
saying that
time,
you've
though,
been saying that forever too though. You've been saying that one forever, and you've been saying Kirk ain't that dude forever.
yeah, but at the same time, though, like the quarterback got to dish the ball out. Like, why we throwing the ball to CJ Ham? Why the
Right.
fuck we check it down on 4th and 8 when it's the playoff game and the shit is on the line?
Right. Yeah. No.
You throw that bitch to I don't give a fuck how many people JJ got on him. I'm
You ain't
tired of this
lying.
shit, man.
When it's time, hey, when it's time for your superstar to go to work, it's time for your superstar to go to work. It's just period, point blank.
You gotta give him the ball.
That's it.
You gotta give him the ball, man.
You
The
you
Minnesota
you you,
Vikings.
you have to feed the beast in the NFL. That's just how it works.
Yeah, man. So right now, your top 3 quarterback coming out the NFL draft would be who?
Coming out
Now,
coming out in the NFL draft for this year.
yeah, coming out. I'm saying I ain't talking about just for the Lions to get. I'm talking just overall. Like your top 3 quarterback entering this NFL draft.
I probably got to go with Washington first.
Yeah, MJ. I like him.
Yeah, I'm big on my man at Florida State too.
Jordan Travis. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
man,
nice.
I like that dude too. And then of course USC quarterback as well. Like they probably go in 1, 2, 3 in some order, but
So how you feel about JJ though?
I love JJ. I think I want JJ to become a steal for somebody. I think JJ gonna be a hell of an NFL quarterback. I believe that JJ definitely get held down as far as like how much where his talent can flourish to being a Michigan quarterback, because Michigan is such a run first type of organization, always have been. And quarterbacks, they just don't get that same look far as them being you thinking they can turn into a superstar coming from Michigan because of that reason, because of how much they run the ball. But JJ is a NFL quarterback to me, man. He got the mechanics, he got everything. When I look at him, that I'll say, man, this dude is just an NFL type quarterback. I think he's gonna be better than people think in the NFL.
Yeah, I like JJ too. My man say, De Niro say, Caleb. He say Drake May, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix. Drake May is not a good quarterback. If you
Yeah,
watch Drake May games when he play teams, he do a lot of check downs, and that
yeah,
remind me of Kirk
that's true.
Cousins.
Yep.
I don't want his ass.
You said remind me of
I ain't lying. I don't want his ass.
yeah, when you got JJ and you got the type of receivers y'all got Addison too, man, you got to be ready to stretch the field, man. The dinking and dunking ain't always necessary over there.
Heck, you know, not at all, man. The team we got, I'm about to drop the I'm gonna drop the link in the comment section for somebody. But yeah, man, but it's crazy though. We talking about the Lions though, man. I gotta
Man,
hear y'all mouth, all that shit Chris talking about and shit. I'm like, this shit
yeah, man.
crazy. And like I told you earlier though, man, I'd be hurt and feeling crazy. But I'd be happy though for the city though.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
If the Lions win a Super Bowl before the motherfucking Vikings, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, that shit right there would be crazy for me, man.
That's gonna be a crusher for you right there. You be like, and I live right here.
Hell yeah,
You don't
man.
even roll with them, man. You're like, hey man, I'm a diehard Viking fan. I get you on that though. That just happened. That's just how life go, man.
Yeah,
But
man.
yeah,
But
man, the Lions, man. Look, the Lions might have the best chance they ever had right now. We don't even know that, man. It literally might be the best chance they've ever had. I'm telling you right now, in all my life I've been alive, I have never seen the Lions with a even Super Bowl caliber team. I've never seen it in my life.
and plus the
And that's
NFC.
with Barry being here. I watched Billy Sims, Barry. It don't matter.
I
Herman
see.
Moore, you name it. But we ain't never had no pieces together where I felt like, oh, dog, this team could go get a Super Bowl. I've never seen it. Even when we made the playoffs, the couple of times in my life that I've seen us make the playoffs, I've never still seen a team where I thought that team was going anywhere. But this Lions team right here, yeah, it feels different, man. It feels like they actually got the squad that they can go actually do something and go somewhere.
And that's crazy.
And it might be the perfect time for it because look, I'm like this. Ain't nobody in the NFC so strong that I'm just like, oh yeah, that's a definite L if the Lions meet them. And then it ain't nobody in the AFC who got me shaking in my boots either though. By the
Hold
same
on.
token.
I got my man T Bass, though. I'm about to put T Bass on here, man. What up, T-Bad?
So this is where I disagree with you guys about JJ. If the guy's triple teamed, you don't throw to anybody in the NFL when they're triple teamed. It's the same thing when the Vikings had Adrian Peterson. 11 guys on the line of scrimmage, and they're still running them. They get too enamored with one guy that they have to give the ball to all the time. It's
Will you
still a
say
team
JJ?
sport. JJ now, yeah. You can't.
Oh,
You do not throw to a guy that's triple teamed. You
no.
don't.
What?
It's stupid. But I just heard one of you guys say, I don't care if he's triple teamed. You got to throw to JJ. No, it's a team sport. It's
Okay,
just like
T-Bad.
when
Yeah. I was speaking situationally. I'm saying in big moments, it's always the big man. That's just, I live by that. If in big moments, big stars got to come up with big plays in big moments. That's just how it works. That's how you win titles. Period. Point blank. It didn't. When Aaron Donald can't hope somebody else get to the quarterback to win the Super Bowl. If he that guy, he got to go make that happen. It worked the same way on offense. So I'm speaking of in big moments. In big moments, Michael Jordan is taking the shot. He don't care who on him, right? He don't care if it's 5 people on him. If he taking the shot because it's that moment, then those big moments, you got to go to your big star. That's just how that works.
I don't know. I remember in the Lakers game, the big moment when Jordan was getting double teamed, he threw over to Paxson to hit some key threes.
He's thrown. I'm not saying he ain't never threw a shot over to Paxson or went to somebody else. But listen, 9 times out of 10, when it's life or death, Jordan will take that shot with 3 men on him and think that's the best shot. And he's probably right about that.
Well, let me ask you something.
Instinct to do it.
Let me ask you something. If there's 3 people covering JJ, shouldn't somebody be open?
You gotta find that person.
Hey, listen, here's the thing. When you're a wide receiver in the NFL and you great and you that guy, you don't have to always be open. You can get open. You can make yourself be open. You can outleap everybody. It's so many ways to still get that ball. Whether you open all the way or not, that don't mean nothing that you ain't open in the NFL.
Yeah, I used to get on Brett Favre all the time for throwing into triple coverage. I used to call him a dumbass. Dumbass throwing to triple coverage people, getting people hurt. And if a guy's triple teamed, there should be somebody else open.
I'm definitely not saying it's something that you do all the time. I was more speaking of in big moments. In big moments.
But I just hear too many Viking fans are like, gotta feed JJ the ball. You gotta feed him. And it was the same thing when Adrian Peterson. Teams would literally have 11 people on the line of scrimmage, and Childress is still running the ball. It's like, Jesus Christ, there's 11 people on the line of scrimmage. Throw the fucking ball. Excuse my language, but and we're back into this stuff with KOC now. Gotta pass. Pass. The guy's an idiot. I'm officially on his ass. I said that a couple weeks ago, and I just think the guy's a clown.
Yeah, I do too. I don't think KOC the guy for the job for real, man.
No, he not.
No, why are people when they hired him? I heard people about this offensive genius. Like, he didn't even call damn plays in Los Angeles.
Right.
How is this guy an offensive genius? Why?
I don't know. Like, because if you look at the Minnesota Vikings, our issue is the offense.
Yeah.
We can't score points.
People can't constantly blame Ingram and Ed Donatel forever. No. It's got to go back to, I mean, even last year when everybody was saying Ed Donatel, I was saying, listen, who's the head coach? He can't go tell the defensive coordinator, I want you to put in blitz packages. Bottom line. No, so obviously KOC was good with the play calling on defense last year. And it all circles back to him. And I just wish they'd fire his ass and put in Brian Flores before he leaves. But you know that's not bad.
I feel you on that, man. Because this offense is so stale and don't generate first down and points. The shit look like we got a rookie quarterback.
It really do. It really
Well,
do.
they've mailed it in. They've gave up on the season. They've taken the identity of their head coach who runs the offense, and they're soft.
Yep,
They're soft. They're going out there. They're not playing with any hard. The defense, however, Flores is getting the max amount out of them. I mean, the defensive talent-wise is terrible, but they're playing all right. But he's got them playing.
Right.
But these offensive players like T.J. Hawkinson, they're just taking advantage of this guy's softness. I mean, Hawkinson's now like, I got it made. I got paid. Who gives a shit?
Right.
Who cares if I really catch the ball? I mean, he's
Hawk been a disappointment this year for real.
I've been said trade his big ass.
Yep, that's exactly what I would do.
I think it's kind of back to the coaching. I mean, I think a head coach or somebody should pull him aside and say, "Get your head out of your ass and
You ain't
start."
lying. Because the offense is horrible, man.
Yeah, the head coach is definitely a problem too, though. That's the major problem over there to me. And you saying that they took on the identity of their head coach, that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did to me. They look just like their head coach. They play soft. He coached soft to me. He played not to lose. It's just crazy.
I just don't see where more fans don't see it, but I understand. There's a lot of Viking fans. If the guy's wearing purple, they're going to love him and they're not going to say anything bad to him. I mean, there's people that are actually still think that Louis Cine is going to be good. I mean, no, I mean, there is people out there that think he's going to end up being a superstar still. It's like, guys, the leg injury. I'm like, he's sixth on a depth chart where most teams don't even keep six safety.
You ain't lying.
They're just keeping him because he was a number 1 draft pick.
Yeah, man.
If y'all want to give us JJ, we'll take him off y'all hands. If y'all want to give him to us, and we'll just go on our little run for our Super Bowl.
Wait, Quasi might trade that for a 5th round pick. Detroit can the Vikings again.
Like the Quasi whole thing. That's another thing. Like Quasi don't even call the shots as being a GM for real. He got 5-6 people in his ear when he trying to do a GM job.
Yeah,
he got to run it. He got to run what he doing by a board.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just think he's a numbers guy that doesn't really know football a whole lot.
Yeah, but
listen, if he running by other people, then he can never be held accountable. Then
no, he not.
Well,
that's crazy. I don't want my GM to. I want my GM to make the decisions he need to make this team better, flat out.
I remember a quote from Mike Ditka when he was the coach and GM in New Orleans, and how during the combine, the guys get weighed in their underwear, and you look at their physique, and they asked Ditka, and Ditka said, "I don't give a shit what a guy looks like in his underwear. I watch game films, and I want players."
There it is, right there. That's for real. That's for real.
I think Quasi's more of a, they say analytic, and I'm just sick of the Vikings gambling on these guys with injury history, like Davenport, and who's the college QB that's got 2 ACL injuries already?
Michael Pierce from Washington.
That's who the Vikings will probably move up in the draft to take.
I like him though. I like him.
2 knee injuries, man. I don't know. I mean,
I feel you,
maybe,
but
I just this Davenport thing, everybody
They need to release Davenport as soon as his big ass come off injury. Soon as his ass come off the IR, they need to let his big ass go, man.
It's like there's so many people pushing the don't trade Hunter, don't trade it. Why?
Trade everybody.
Yeah,
This
for real.
season's over.
Yeah, this
Might
is
as well
over
get
with.
Look. If the plan is to go out and get a new franchise quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, if that's the plan, well, then if that's the plan, then it ain't nothing wrong with blowing it up right now. Because if everything is built around Kirk Cousins right now, if he not the guy we're moving forward with,
well, Kirk's got him by the balls. He's got a no trade clause. He's not going anywhere. We're stuck with him. He's not going anywhere.
For this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you ain't getting rid of him this year. I'm talking about moving forward. If y'all looking to get a franchise
fuck Kirk, man. Fuck Kirk. Kirk got this whole team in a fucking dumpster.
If that's the case,
but I mean, Danielle Hunter
I would be looking to move Hockenson. I'll be looking to move a whole lot of folks if that was the case.
I mean, Danielle Hunter's not going to re-sign with the Vikings, so you might as well trade him and get something, even if it's a third or fourth round pick.
You trade Hunter and you trade KJ because both of them not re-signing.
All right. Yep.
Like, what's the point? It's time to tear the shit down, and you need to play Jared Hall this year.
I mean, look at Detroit. They traded Hockenson to the Vikings, and would we give up a second round pick?
Yep.
And everybody was like, "Oh, great deal, great deal." Detroit drafted a tight end that's got better numbers than him already.
Yep.
And we gave him a third round pick.
Yeah. Release the salary, paying a rookie contract, and better. I mean, that's how we build.
Yeah. Minnesota got to start thinking about building for the future because what they got, it's not going to work that way.
But there's too many fans that are just stuck with, don't trade Hunter, don't trade Kirk. We're not going anywhere with these guys. Hunter's not going to resign, and Cousins is what it is.
Yep.
They're not. You just move on. Just move. It's just. I'm a Chicago Cubs fan, and I remember when. So I went through a lot of pain with them too. But I remember when Theo Epstein came to the Cubs as a GM. His first press conference came on the TV and said, "Listen, Cub fans, we're going to get really, really bad to get really, really good." And 5 years later, the Cubs won the World Series.
Yeah, that's how you got to do sometimes.
Yeah,
it worked though. It's many teams that's done it that way and actually made it happen, so it worked.
Yeah. Shit. Look at Cincinnati.
Right. Yep.
Even though they ain't win no Super Bowl, shit, they a top team. Shit.
Yeah.
The thing I'm worried about though is the current state of football. Can you be a Super Bowl team when you build your team around a wide receiver?
I think if you hit on the quarterback, look at Miami.
Yeah. That's true.
Well, they haven't won anything yet. But I mean,
but only reason they ain't win yet because their quarterback can't stay healthy.
Right, yeah.
So I'm just saying, I think,
but they move themselves into the upper echelon of NFL talent since they building around what they got with Tyreek. They have done that.
True. I just wonder if I mean,
it
didn't work out. It didn't work out for Detroit when they had the best receiver for years.
Yeah.
Randy Moss never won a Super Bowl. Moss got to the Super Bowl on a really good team where he wasn't the man. I just wondered if JJ's great, best in football, but is that something we want to invest all our money in? I mean, I just wonder.
But look though, T-Bass, if you bring in a nice rookie quarterback who can play football if you got JJ, hopefully TJ can get better, and you got Jordan Addison, you got a nice offense.
Right,
Yeah, but then you have no money to bring in quality free agents, good free agents to plug in our holes on defense. Like we're gonna bring in Tonga.
So that when you got to draft, you got to
Right.
learn how to draft.
Yeah, you have to hit.
But yeah,
the draft.
but we haven't had a good draft in probably 5 years.
But that's the problem right there. It's a draft. You got to learn how to draft players.
Yep.
Well,
You got to draft players. Because in free agency, you always gonna overpay for a player for real.
Exactly.
now if we were having quality drafts the last 5 years, I would say, yeah, no brainer. Pay JJ his money because we have all these other pieces in place. But they don't. They don't have a lot of people. And you give all one guy the money and say, we're going to draft a quarterback.
And
but then you have a lot of these holes.
Yeah. Don't forget, we got to pay Darisaw too.
Yeah. Darisaw, yeah.
Now, Darisaw is a motherfucker I would trade. I ain't like his ass can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised Monday night his ass getting injured against his 49ers.
Yeah, he going up against a physical team too.
I can see his ass going out.
But do you see what I'm saying? If we pay JJ all this money for like a 4-year contract and then say, well, we got to bring in a quarterback and then build throughout the draft. Well, building throughout the draft is a 2-3 year thing. So you're wasting all that money on JJ for 3 out of the 4 years of his contract. Now, if it works out in the 4th year and they win a Super Bowl, great. But I'm just wondering at this point where the Vikings are, if that's the best move to invest all your money in a wide receiver.
I feel you. I said
it's like this. If you don't get your players in order to build the Super Bowl team through the draft, the only other way is to do what the Rams do and buy it. So if you don't have owners that's willing to buy a Super Bowl and just go pay for every position they need to get it, then the draft is the only way you're gonna be able to do it. And if that's the case, you might as well bust it down in order to build it back up.
The Vikings can't do that because they've been in salary cap hell for the last couple of years because of stupid contracts with Cousins and all these other dumb signings.
Like next year. Next year, we already $5 million in dead cap with people who won't be on the team.
It's always a sucker out there though to take somebody off your hands. It's a sucker out there who will take Kurt off your hands. I just don't know who it is.
Yeah,
it's always one in the NFL.
Yeah, but it's usually the Vikings are the sucker.
You ain't lying. You ain't bullshitting. And plus, like me, honestly though, for me looking at the Minnesota Vikings, I would trade JJ right now for 2 first-round picks and a 2nd and a 3rd round draft pick.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I just
because you know good and well with that kind of draft capital, you gonna definitely find another JJ out there for less money. For less money, though, by the way.
I would.
Because he's just a season away.
Because the Minnesota Vikings, like you said, the Minnesota Vikings T-Bass is in some shit right now.
Yeah, they are. They in a bad position on the real. They in a bad position.
Yeah, and their fans are demanding that they use all their money to sign JJ. I want JJ on the team. I don't care about a Super Bowl. Well, I care about a Super Bowl. I could give a shit who's on the team.
I am, man. I have if I'm with a team, I got way more loyalty to them winning the Super Bowl than I do any individual player.
Well,
as long as it's not the superstar quarterback, that's a different story. But other than that, hey, everybody is available.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta start with the quarterback. You get that guy.
Yeah.
People can rally around and he can make the clutch plays. He's going to make everybody better.
But that's the whole thing to having to having a team with the ability to go and win a Super Bowl, if you don't have that franchise quarterback who is a guy who you really believe can go get a Super Bowl, then you really don't have nothing at that point in the NFL. You have nothing on your squad.
You ain't lying.
That's just period. If that dude ain't there, well, then that's who you supposed to be looking for. Just look at Kansas City is in the running every year since they got Mahomes.
Yep.
That's one player, and he's just turned this team to where this team is a contender every single season. Because they got their quarterback. That quarterback situation is under control, under lock.
Yep, and it's not because of Travis Kelce.
No, it's not.
It wasn't because of Tyreek Hill.
Nope, they won the title after he left. Yep.
It's because of Patrick Mahomes.
It is.
That's why I said, T-Bag. Give me 2 first-round picks. Give me your second and your third. You can have JJ, man. But JJ,
if somebody was willing to give y'all that,
hey, T-Bag, you know what I would do if I'm the Vikings?
What's that?
You know what I would do if I'm the Minnesota Vikings?
Who?
I'm calling Kansas City. Give me 2 first-round draft picks. Give me a second-round draft pick for JJ.
There you go, because that's who needs.
Kelce getting old. Kelce about to retire in another year.
Well, I mean, you're basically getting a high second round. You trade KC,
but you could use that to move around the NFL draft.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I would rather like.
I tell you what, if you tell Kansas City he owned the buck, I bet you they'd be awfully interested in talking with you about him.
I would rather like go with somebody like Jacksonville.
That wouldn't be bad either, though.
Yeah, I mean Jacksonville's got their QB,
but they got receivers they paying already though. They got like 2 receivers they paying already.
But what if the Bears were gonna offer both of their first round picks this year?
Hell no.
Both of them? You might be drafting 1 and 2 overall.
But damn,
you wouldn't take the first and second round pick in next year's draft for
that's
JJ.
A hard one, man. I gotta see the other offers, man. I gotta see the other offers. Because might bite you in the ass, though.
Yeah, listen, there's no way I'm putting a player that's great in my division. Not trading him in my division.
Oh, sometimes, but you gotta. But you get your quarterback of the future, your pick of them.
You right.
And you get Marvin Harrison Jr.
I was about to say that.
So you got your receiver and your. What's that?
I would do that. You right. I would do that.
Hey, he talking about replacing JJ with another JJ and getting the quarterback you need. That actually makes sense.
Hell yeah, I would do that.
It would be worth it at that point, though.
I'm gonna make a video about that, T-Bass. I ain't lying. That bitch coming tomorrow. I like that trade. Fuck it.
And you'll move JJ in the division. You'll move JJ in the division, huh?
Yeah, for Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison. Sure, I would. I'd do it in a heartbeat.
I'd go even crazier though, for real. After I get my quarterback, I would trade down to get another first round draft pick, and I'm driving that wide receiver from LSU, where JJ came from.
Yeah.
Well, there's just some food for thought. I just figured I'd jump in and talk with you guys for a while.
At that point, though, you get a lot of versatility. I say you get a lot of versatility at that point. You get 2 first rounders, man. You can make some picks out of that.
The top 2. Top 2 first.
Top 2, you go crazy. You have the top 2 picks, you going crazy.
Yeah. And just think the Bears might have that next year.
Oh, they're going to have that. Carolina is horrible.
Yeah, I mean, they might have 1 and 2.
Carolina might not even win 2 games this year.
Yeah, it's bad.
And I mean, just think if the Bears decide Justin Fields, their guy, they're gonna get a crap load for that number 1 overall pick.
Yeah,
and they can draft Harrison at 2, and then get a whole lot of return. I mean, they're sitting at, if they draft well, they're going to be very good in about 3 years.
Yeah, I said that. I said that in the video before. I see that. I see the Chicago Bears getting Caleb Williams, Marvin Harris Jr. and hiring the Lions offensive coordinator for their head coach for next year.
Yeah. And then they can trade off.
You telling me Ben is out of here, huh?
Ben going to Chicago, I think.
And you think they're done with Fields?
It's going to be several teams interested.
Yeah, they done with Fields.
Right now. That's going to happen.
I don't know if they're done.
Lions, that's why I said the Lions better. This might be the only chance the Lions got.
Yeah, you got a T-Bass and a Torrance. You got to think about this, though. As a head coach, the ownership is telling you, you get to handpick any quarterback you want in the NFL draft.
Right, yeah.
And any playmaker you want. You already got DJ Moore.
Right.
You get to add another offensive player to your offense. Who do you want?
Well, yeah, the no-brainer is taking Williams and Marvin Harrison.
Yep.
And trading that one receiver, Darnell Mooney, whatever his name is.
But just think if you feel like Field is the real deal, you just have to get some players around him. You keep Fields, trade that number 1 overall pick for a whole bunch of capital because somebody's going to want to give up a whole lot to get Williams.
Yeah.
Take
Marvin Harrison still, and then have a crap load of draft picks still.
The only way the thing with Chicago is the only way they're gonna find out if Fields is the right guy is if they get a head coach over there because
they ain't got no head coach.
They head coach is messing Fields up to me. He making Fields worse. And I blame the head coach for where Fields is at right now.
My boy David tap in. My boy David in the building.
I got to get going to bed, guys. I got to work tomorrow. So,
all right, T-Man, I appreciate you being with us.
All right. See you guys later.
I'll see you tomorrow. Right. What up, Derek Chance? Every NFC team draft a quarterback. That's if Detroit is smart.
He said that. Say that again. What did he say?
He said he think every team in the NFC North will draft a quarterback, and that's if Detroit is smart.
I agree with him. I want Detroit to take a quarterback.
This is a deep class.
I promise this is a deep quarterback class. I would love to touch a quarterback, man, and hope that I got a real.
Man, I'll drop the link again. Somebody else tap in, man. We talking NFC North. I got the Lions fan on here, man. He talking shit on here and everything. Yeah, man, but Justin Fields shit though. That shit over with though, Torrance. He done talk about the coaching staff and everything.
Yeah, the whole thing over there is broken to me. It's like you have to move away from Fields or you got to change the whole everything that's over the top of him. One of the two things got to happen, or Fields is actually destroyed to me if that's the case. Being at the Bears,
yeah,
and then he didn't do anything at the Bears that he could go somewhere else and take somebody's job.
Shit, in Atlanta.
Well, that's about it. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, Atlanta is terrible.
Hey, look though, Torrance. I can see your OC going there next year though.
No, I already know that. That's definitely a possibility. He gonna have some job offers coming at him. That's what I said, man.
You get to handpick your quarterback on a rookie contract.
Yeah,
it don't get no better than that.
And he got 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, 1 and 2.
Oh my goodness!
You get to trade down. You can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, it's that. I mean, that's going to be attractive to anybody looking for a head coaching job.
Hell yeah! You get to handpick your quarterback. You at number 1.
All right. Yeah.
Any quarterback you want.
And they're gonna get some kind of capital for Fields, ain't they?
I ain't gonna lie. They probably get like a second from Atlanta though, for real. Because Justin Fields, I think he can't play in the NFL for real.
I'm being dead ass. I don't believe that a team would give them a second round pick for Fields right now.
What do you think? Like a 4th?
Like a 4th, maybe.
Probably a 4 though.
Because
But I think
listen, if they know you drafted your franchise quarterback, they're gonna be like, you need us to get him off your hands. What is you talking about? They're
yeah,
aware of
right.
that.
But I think Phil can play in the NFL though, for
I
real
do
though.
too. I think Fields can play in the NFL. I think Fields is in a terrible situation from them having a a offensive coordinator who don't have any experience to do what
You
he
know
need
where
to
he
do.
came from, don't you?
Where?
Green Bay, man.
Oh my God. No wonder.
He came from Green Bay, man. He was a quarterback coach, if I'm
Yeah,
not
man.
mistaken.
Yeah, just a you're gonna go put an offensive coordinator with a young quarterback like that that's trying to progress and get better, and you don't have a guy who can really nurture him properly and get him to where he need to be. That's just a bad move out of organization, if you ask me.
Yeah, like I can see, but I think everybody getting fired in Chicago
I do
besides the
too.
GM though.
I do too.
But yeah, but Chicago is in a good spot though, for real, man. And I
Yeah,
hate the shit with the number
yeah,
1 and number 2 pick.
right, yeah. Because they gonna make this NFC North division tough in a minute, man.
Hold on, I got my guy Davey, man. He done tapped in with us, man. What's going on, my guy?
How you doing, Zoe?
How you feel?
Hey, man. I heard some Chicago talk going on there, and I mean, if I'm putting my GM hat on as a Bear, if I got pick 1 and 2, I trade pick 1 for a boatload of picks, like you're
Yep,
alluding to. But then at pick 2, I draft Drake May is probably the guy you take, and then you trade Justin Fields.
yep.
Is probably what I do if I'm a Bear fan. Yeah, I think that if Detroit has any vision, any future, because look, they're perky, they're fun, they're a go get 'em team, but it's not your time yet. Okay, everyone wants to talk about how the
Hey,
AFC is deep,
I don't want to.
but
I don't want
the
to hear.
two best
I don't want
teams
to.
in
I
the
don't want to hear it's not
NFL
our
are in the
time.
NFC conference.
Look, I don't want to hear it's
What
not
up,
our
Bob?
time. I just told Zoe. Sometimes that squad that'll come out of nowhere and go take the whole chip. It don't always have to be your time. You don't always have to progress through one playoff win. And the next season, I got 2 playoff wins. And the next season, I went to the NFC. You don't have to always do that. Sometimes it's just your time.
Yeah, hey, lightning
And
in
you
a
got to
bottle.
hit when
I
it's your
get it.
time.
Any
That's
given Sunday, I agree.
I tell
I
you like
do.
this: whether Detroit can actually pull this thing off this year, it's about how aggressive they front office get. If Detroit try to make moves to get better still before this trade deadline, then it'll tell me a lot about what they're gonna do on this
Right?
playoff run.
If they panic and they take, say, a Daniil Hunter for it's going to cost you a first, we're not handing you a trophy for less than a first. If you guys panic and
Facts.
want to do that,
That's
Kwesi needs the stones to go ahead and make that trade, because what I worry about is y'all having the vision I have, which is I'm coming around. JJ McCarthy is the best quarterback in this draft, and he's in your back freaking yard. And you've seen what a backyard kid from Michigan can do for your team with the number 1 overall pick. If you guys
Woo.
went ahead and got JJ McCarthy to add to that freaking team, that would be no bueno. So
that'd be nasty, won't it?
that's who I want as a Viking. I want McCarthy
I
1,
like
Shador
McCarthy.
Sanders 2.
What I tell you, Zoe? I told you. I said, man, I like JJ McCarthy, man. I
I
think
do
he's a
too,
better
though.
quarterback than I think a whole lot of people don't see just how good an NFL quarterback he's gonna be. He's gonna be a better NFL quarterback than he is in college, believe it or not.
It segues into the future of the NFL, really,
It does.
and I call the guy JJ McCaffrey a lot of times because
Yeah.
the names are similar, but he
Yeah, I
runs
used
like
to call him.
Christian
Hey, David.
McCaffrey.
Hey,
Okay, and
David. You know what crazy
if the
though?
49ers would have had McCaffrey at quarterback in the playoffs and just run out of shotgun and just do some dipsy do throws to Debo, running left, running right, little throw to the tight end, little throw to Debo. McCaffrey can do that. They would have beat Philly. They would have shown the league what you do with a Justin Fields, what you do with an Anthony Richardson, and what you will see done with JJ McCarthy. Difference is McCarthy, he's like Joe Montana in steroids, man. The guy runs and he throws such a beautiful catchable
David know
ball.
he
Yes,
be
he
talking
does,
about
man.
though,
He throws
John.
a bet, man. I pay a lot of attention
David know
to
he be talking about.
I pay a lot of attention to JJ's mechanics, and man, JJ. He shocks me sometimes. I'll be like, this dude is gonna be real scary good in the NFL.
I mean, think about it as a receiver. Who do you want to catch a ball from out of these guys? To
Right.
me, it's JJ. Kirk Cousins is the master of the laser ball 8 inches behind your ear hole or back behind your ankle. And you might catch it, but you're going to blow a knee or you're going to break a finger like
Hey, the
Treadwell.
motherfucker
And
said
you might
behind
get
your
lit up
ankle,
too.
dog.
You might get lit up too. These guys are catching it in stride. They have no fear of someone getting ready to hit them because McCarthy might run for 20 freaking yards. He's heading towards the line of scrimmage before he throws it half the time.
For
I
real.
mean, the NFL can't deal with something like that, man. And when you wrinkle that with Justin
Just,
Jefferson
hey,
and Jordan Addison, or
so
if
what I
you're
tell you I
Detroit,
would do, I told you, I said, man, I'll wait right there and take JJ, man. That's what I would do.
right? And
I
and there's
told you,
nothing
man,
wrong with
JJ is
sit him
a
behind Goff for a year. Screw it, sit him behind Goff. Maybe he
yep.
takes the job by the bye week. But I hate to plant kind of the answers to the test because since the '80s, I do believe that Detroit has had a spy in our building. They took Benny Blades from us. And more recently, y'all took freaking Ragnow from us. Okay. The guy
Yeah,
was a 3rd-round pick. There were
yeah,
mutterings about us taking him in the first, and we're going, what? Or the second, first or second, and
yeah.
Detroit takes them every goddamn year. You guys spike a guy that we want, and that's why they're kind of my second favorite team. They're like the little brother. Half the guys on their team, Burleson, are either former Vikings or guys we wanted, and it's just
David, my God, dog. David gonna be talk that talk, dog. David,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
God, dog. I ain't lying to you. David gonna be talk that shit, dog. Yeah, man. But I want JJ for real, David. And JJ will be there no matter where we pick in the
That's what
NFL
I'm
draft.
saying. He'll be right there for you, man. Y'all
And that's
crazy.
that's the beauty of it, right? If you're
That
playing
is.
4D chess, you trade Daniil Hunter right now for whatever you can get. You trade everybody for what you can get. And you start starting these kids. I want to see Lewis Seen in that joker position and say, go get the quarterback. And
Yeah.
every once in a while, we'll drop you off into the flat. You can do that probably better than Daniil Hunter. But if you're in doubt, if you're not sure what to do, go stack bodies like you were saying you wanted to do. Take out blockers, take out running backs, take out quarterbacks. I don't care. Just get back there and make happen. Let the kid play. But then I would draft that Florida State kid if we have a high enough pick, and then leverage those other picks with these trades back into the first for JJ McCarthy. That
You
would be
talking
my Viking GM
you talking
maneuverings. I
about you
want that
talking about
Florida State kid at outside
that DN?
linebacker. What's that?
He played DN, right?
Yeah, D
Linebacker.
end, outside linebacker. He's a
Oh.
pass rushing freak,
Mm-hmm.
and he's probably pick 6.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll stay there. Who knows? We'll find out in 2 weeks. But in a perfect world, you take him and then you move back up and grab JJ
My
McCaffrey.
guy Rap, what's the deal? That's my guy Rap. That's my nigga. That's my guy right there though.
Hey,
But
man, I
look,
watched him for a little bit, but
who Rap?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, Rap my guy. I fuck with Rap all the way. But look,
yeah, they were on the air just a few moments ago. I was watching.
that's why I said the Minnesota Vikings, man, need to trade Hunter and they need to trade KJ, man.
And it's about the vision, right? I mean, even if it's the wrong vision, it gives you still have a chance to win with a vision. Kwesi's throwing darts, and I'm not saying it's his fault entirely. Could be ownership, could be KOC, could be all sorts of shit, right? But god damn it, can we all get in a room together and go, where do we want to allocate our dollars long term? What positions? Forget the names. What positions? Okay, because we got 7 positions we can do. Okay, come to an agreement on that. Find out what we have filled at those positions now, keep them, and start getting the other guys you need. I
And you
mean,
know who I think do a good job of that though? On the real, the Lions, man. I think.
Here you go.
No, I'm serious. I'm talking about like from that managerial standpoint, from your GM and all that. I think they GM and coaching everybody. I think they on the same page. I really do. I think that's what helped this team click though on the real. Is that
you
they
guys
on that
went and you got your 2 first-round picks, maybe above grade, above value. Was the only nitpick I saw. You could have probably got him later,
Me too.
but
That same
I
thing.
do have respect for if you see a guy you want, give or take 12 picks, grab your fucking guy.
Yeah.
I get that. So I can respect that. But yeah, had you guys played with those first 2 picks a little bit better, you could have had one of the best drafts,
Yeah.
and not just a
Yeah,
solid draft.
I tell Zoe that all the time. I agree with Zoe on that. Zoe said, well, me and Zoe both, we was like, yeah, I don't know about taking this Gibbs. I told Zoe, I said, man, if Gibbs ain't Adrian Peterson, then it was a bust to me. I'm not taking no running back in the first round. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean,
unless it's Adrian Peterson. If it's Adrian Peterson, I want him. But if he not Adrian Peterson, then yeah, I can't spend a first round pick on the running back. I just can't do it.
Yeah, and even the linebacker, he was, rumored to be like another, 12, 13 picks down. You could have got him, but if he's a guy you like, you take him, and I can respect it, But my God, I hope you guys just rock with Goff and don't draft a quarterback, because look, clearly the Bears are taking one. Clearly we're taking one, and I think Green Bay is starting to go, we might want one too, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's funny how all the quarterbacks are in the AFC, and you get your tinfoil hat on and you start going, wait a minute. Well, where does our bread get buttered the most? Well, it's the NFC Central, sir, and then the NFC East. Those are the two most power conferences that everybody seems to watch, right?
Yeah.
TV revenue, ratings, the whole nine. You're in a historic quarterback class, and we might have all four of our teams in our division taking one of these kids.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And wouldn't that be fun to watch for the next 10 years?
You almost
we'll give you Penix. You guys can have Penix running around back there.
Or yeah.
We get McCarthy. Let USC. Well, he's not going to go to Chicago. They're going to have to take Derek May. And then I guess USC, send him to Green Bay. Bring it on.
Yeah, man.
That would be, man. Do you know how crazy that would be if this division all got 4 young quarterbacks like that at one time in the same draft class?
And look at the receivers we got running around. You guys got Williams from our pick. They got Watson from our pick. We got JJ, and the Bears. Maybe they get Marvin Harrison, but they got
hey,
Carolina
David, crazy dog. I ain't even peeped that. David be talking that shit, man. Yeah. You right. You ain't lying.
Right? I wouldn't mind having both those guys on this team. Who? And instead of Addison, you give me that cornerback Porter Jr. out of Pittsburgh would have been.
Yeah, I like Porter Jr. Yeah.
Right. But we had to play, fuzzy math, and we got those extra late picks, and then we moved back up to take Booth, and look at us, that was the worst draft I've ever seen as a Viking fan.
David,
but
you know what I say about that draft, though, for real? I think Ed Donatell had his hands on that NFL draft, if you pay attention, because this year NFL draft was better than last year. And the only difference was we got Brian Flores.
Yeah.
And this NFL draft is way better.
Well, and look, I'm still leaving 8% that these kids just got to go out there and play. Let them make their mistakes. Let them run around. Let them think they're on defense when they're on offense. I don't know what the hell they're going to do out there. I don't care. Just let them play. Just like Jaron Hall, you let him play to determine if he's your backup of the future. Don't have delusions of, hey, we could just win with him. Find out if he's a good backup first, and then, get your quarterback. And I think Lewis Seen, he was on a championship team. I mean, he's 6'2". He's aside from the leg, he was.
Let him play. Let him play. Fuck.
Let him go get the quarterback.
We ain't winning shit anyway. Let him play.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and Asamoah, I loved that guy when he was out for 6 plays. He shot, he flashed plenty for me. I'm like, oh, that's a dog. When he got burnt on a pass route because he didn't know what the hell he was doing, but then he caught up to the guy and then stripped the guy and then picked the ball up. I went, yeah, I want that guy.
Yeah,
I want him out there. That was him making a mistake. I mean, what can he do when he knows what the hell he's doing, right? Put him and Pace out there together. Move Pace to the Hicks old man spot, and put Asamoah where Pace is playing, and then put Seen down there at the Joker spot. You can have a pass rush that looks different from a Davenport and a Danielle Hunter.
Man, fuck Davenport, man. That shit was a waste of a fucking pick.
That 13 million, yeah.
That motherfucker played one game.
Yep. And that ankle twist thing going on there. It's just, I don't know. It's just that gets back to that dart throwing stuff. It's like, I get it. We're strapped for cash. We got to try to clear the books. We're strapped for draft picks. We need picks. But I don't like this. Let's bargain shop and hope something pans out. It reeks of desperation. I want someone to grab the wheel and go, all right, guys, I know where we're going and I know what we're doing. And we
Exactly.
only need 2 or 3 pieces tops. And that's how it's going to go.
Yeah,
I just need to see that.
I feel you on that
Addison, he
though.
looks good, but I don't think he's going to be a number 1 type receiver. He couldn't get open last week.
No, he
I
be
mean,
good for number 2. It's his rookie year. I don't think
yeah,
he's number 1 receiver right now, but
and
he's a good number 2 option. He better than KJ.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And it takes
for
time,
sure.
and he could be a number 1, but
Yeah.
he's 4'9", gets concussed when he falls on his own power, and weighs 142 pounds. So, he's got a few scientific things working against him, and he can't get separation on against top corners. It looked like, based on last week. He got that touchdown, but then he was blanketed the rest of the way. But yeah, I think he was a good pick, but I would much rather have Jamison Williams.
Hell
And
no, he a bust. What up,
he
YT?
hasn't played yet. The guy hasn't played yet. Give him time.
I'm gonna drop the link for you. YT, tap in with us.
I tell you what though, Zoe. I tell you what, I'm not high on Jameson Williams yet, far as like knowing exactly what he gonna be. But I tell you what, the few times he been in games when he stretched that field, he definitely get the separation to get wide open. He be wide open, man.
Yep.
The few
Watson
times
does
they
the
put him
same
in the
thing.
game and they actually went to him, it's been for a tub. When they put him in last season for that one game, he stretched. He was.
But my
out there
thing is
wide
though,
open.
you first off, bro, you was a top 15 pick, and you ain't got 100 receiving yards yet.
Well, he's never on the
he's played
field,
like
and
3
that's
games.
what I be trying to understand is why is he never on the field? Like I don't get it. I don't know if he don't know the playbook or what it is. But I've been trying. It puzzles me. I'll be like, man, they don't use him very many plays, and that's in both the games since he been back.
Yeah, that's right there. Got me scratching my head,
It's
man.
got me scratching my head. Like, why is his use so limited?
Yeah, I couldn't answer that. I mean,
Because I haven't heard about an injury or
Man,
anything.
hold on, man. My guy YT about to tap in with us, man. This is my guy right here. Yo, microphone.
What up? There we go.
What up with you, my guy?
I just got done doing rap show. That was an interesting show. So
Rap just got off?
yeah, he just got off. He ran a little bit long because he asked me to join halfway through, so he ran a little bit long.
Okay.
Hey, Zoe, I gotta get out of here. Y'all fellas take it easy, man.
All right, T. I appreciate you tapping in with me.
All right, for sure, man.
All right. What up, YT? How you feel?
About what? I just joined you, so I really don't know what you guys are talking about.
How you feel, period?
Oh, yeah, every day above ground's a good day. So,
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
Yep.
Yeah, we just talking about basics, talking about quarterbacks, and we think every NFC North team gonna draft a quarterback this year, and the Vikings need to draft a quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought,
which one do you want?
Saying was, Detroit, if they get desperate and want like a Daniil Hunter, it might be the best thing the Vikings could do.
What up, Ted? I dropped the link for you.
Because Detroit would get my attention if they moved up and drafted a quarterback. Then I would be worried about Detroit. And all, 3 of the 4 NFC Central teams need a quarterback.
Quasey can't not trade the Lions. Cannot trade Daniil Hunter to an NFC team. I'm sorry.
I would though for a first round pick.
Highest bidder.
I mean, okay, definitely not the division though.
A first round pick.
Who's the highest bidder? If you got a second round everywhere else, but Detroit gives you,
they're going to get a first round pick for him.
I don't think they will. I think we'd be happy with a second, honestly. But if we get a first, that's great.
He's the best pass rusher in the league right now. I mean,
I get that, but you really have to think you're going for a Super Bowl because you're not going to be able to extend him. He's going to want to taste that free agent vine.
It depends. I think the trade will be because you got to remember I believe Daniil Hunter also has a no trade clause.
Right.
So he will
want to get out though. Shit.
Right. He'll be like, okay, I'll go with you, but you have to re-sign me. Because they can do like a agreement with a re-signing before the trade's even done. So
yeah, that
would
be
like
best for us because we'd get a better pick that way too.
Right.
I'm all for it.
I don't. I mean, I don't want him go. I mean, I don't want him going to the Bears because I don't want him living in purgatory the rest of his life. I don't want him going to Green Bay because I don't, it's Green Bay. And I just don't want him, the Lions don't really, I mean, yeah, they're good this year, but they're the Lions. So until I see different, they get 1 year every 30 years, they're good. So again, I don't want, but Kirk Cousins might start missing games if Danielle Hunter's in the same division. He might be like,
Good.
I don't want to play this week.
Get Kirk the fuck out of here.
But
man.
I'm just saying, it's just, I think if the offer is close, so like say like the Lions offer you a first and a third, and let's say Jacksonville offers you a first and a fourth, I would take the first and fourth just to keep him out.
Yeah,
I get that argument. Now,
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
do that
saying
too
though
all
is
day.
if we took the Lions offer, we would ensure that they wouldn't draft a quarterback. I don't want them to draft a quarterback.
I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback because Jared Goff is still not even 30 yet.
See, that's that narrow thinking that I want him to have. Yeah, he looks great. He's Kirk Cousins. Yeah. He's a little bit more mobile than Kirk, which is why I know they're going to.
But this is last year on his contract, though.
Right?
Yeah,
if they draft a rookie quarterback with some upside, that's going to be concerning.
No, I don't think it is because it's the Lions.
Well, it's the Lions if they keep Goff. I think if they draft like a guy in their back,
I ain't gonna lie to you, T.Y.
I think you got a whole nother world.
Hey, T.Y., I ain't gonna lie to you. This is a different Lion right here. I ain't never seen this shit before.
I've seen it before.
When? What year?
93.
What, Barry Sanders?
That 93 was the last year that they won the division. Everybody thought the Lions would be good for years and years to come, and they went right back to being the Lions.
No, but the Lions is different. The Lions is drafting good.
They drafted good back then too.
I don't know, man.
I'm saying I've seen it before.
I feel like David though. I don't want to get no quarterback in the first round.
The early 90s were good for the Lions. 91 they went to the playoffs. And 93 they won the division and went to the playoffs. And then they went back to being the Lions. So we may get a couple years here where the Lions are actually pretty good. But
a lot of Lion fans is saying this is one of the best teams they ever seen. They said the team back then wasn't that good.
Well, yeah, one of the Lions. Okay, what kind of history are we talking about for the Lions? A 9-win team is one of the best Lion teams they've ever seen up until this season.
I'm saying they telling me like
they're the third best team in the NFC.
This year they are
for debate.
I mean, no,
you got San Fran, Philly, and Detroit.
Well, I'm not saying they're not good this year. I'm not saying until the Lions can prove that they can win year after year after year, they're the Lions. We've seen this before.
I feel you though, but I don't want to draft a quarterback though. I feel like David.
Right. I'm talking as a Viking fan.
Right. I totally get the argument
with a Danielle Hunter. That would be better for us than them having a fucking quarterback who can run and throw with all those weapons on offense. I don't want them having a quarterback.
They had weapons in the 90s with Herman Moore.
But it's different though.
Yeah, they didn't have a quarterback then either.
Yeah, they had Scott Mitchell.
Scott Mitchell was the shit.
Rodney Peete.
One of the reasons I hated the Detroit Lions.
Rodney Peete was he could run, he could throw.
Another shit quarterback.
Well, but who's to say the quarterback they're going to draft is going to be good? You don't know with quarterbacks.
I'll get you there, but at least they would have taken the swing in a historic quarterback draft class.
No, that is true. It is a historic.
I mean, Green Bay is probably going to take one, right? I mean, we got to assume.
Well, if I was a Packer fan, I wouldn't want any more to do with Jordan Love. He's shown what he is. He's not very good.
So they're going to have
2 years to learn behind
moves.
Aaron Rodgers, and this is how you play.
and just, I'm speaking as a fan, right? Because these
I get
years have been pretty tough with Cousins. I can't stand watching the guy play. He's uninspiring. I'm sorry. I think it would be interesting to see all 4 divisional teams with new quarterbacks. That would be fun.
It could happen.
That would be something to watch.
The Lions, I think the Lions, if anybody, of all the 4 teams, I would say that the Bears are the most likely to keep their starter, followed by Minnesota, then Green Bay, then Detroit.
Yeah, see, I think Goff is going to be kept.
That's what I'm saying. They're the most. The Lions are the most.
Fields is as good as gone, and so is Kirk.
Because Ryan Poles did not draft Fields.
No, and I think Fields. I don't think he's that good, but I do think that if he was a Viking, he'd be a hell of a lot better.
He's a weaker version of Lamar Jackson. Justin Fields is.
And ain't that? You know what I think it is with Fields though, for real? His OC is trash.
Yeah,
He don't even run the football no more.
Chicago, throughout their history, has been a team where quarterbacks go to die.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Cleveland and the Jets.
Yes.
There's a few of them.
Yeah.
Multiple offenders, no doubt.
That's why the Bears should appreciate
Lions.
That's why the Bears should have appreciated Jay Cutler when they had him, because he's by far and away the best quarterback they've had in a long time.
And he wasn't even theirs. They got him from Denver, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a Kirk Cousins deal gone as right as it can.
So,
although I think he was just as successful as Cousins, maybe even less. Did he win a playoff game with the Bears? Did they make the playoffs? I don't even know.
No, they made the playoffs with Cutler. And I think
they won
I'm not sure
or?
if they may have won one playoff game. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But
so he's right there with Kirk Cousins, you know.
I mean, they went to the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman. I mean, that was more of Devin Hester in the defense than anything else. But
yep,
and
they won one with McMahon, you know, and the greatest defense, one of them of all time, right? So, you know,
the Vikings helped build that team, because the general manager who built the Bears was the general manager who built the Vikings, and the Vikings fired him. So he went to Chicago after he built the Vikings. So he built two great franchises.
I think there's some Buddy Ryan ties in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I grew up in the 80s, you know, watching football. And that was, to me, at its best, when then the Bears and the Vikings had number 1 or number 2 were battling it out, and Green Bay was the worst team in the division.
They're the worst team in the NFC.
That was the natural feeling of what I was used to watching. Green Bay being good, that was just weird.
Yeah.
And you know, it'd be nice to see him back in the basement, but
what people don't understand about the Packers is people who are Zoe's aged. What they don't understand about the Packers, I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying your age. This is your age group that you're in. From about 70, I want to say 73-ish, 74-ish, somewhere around there, to 1992, the Packers were the worst team in the NFL.
Yep. They still had a lot of people
following
them, though.
They got Brett Favre, and then they got Aaron Rodgers. So they've had 30 years of success of 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. The only other team to ever have 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks play for them back-to-back was the 49ers with Young and Montana.
I think these bastards are going to get Caleb Williams.
But Montana and Young actually won more Super Bowls than Caleb Williams. I don't know, man. He's been – hopefully Notre Dame knocks some humbleness into him, because you come out saying that you won't sign with the team that drafts you unless you get a part ownership of that team. Come on, man.
I don't believe that, man. I don't believe the shit the internet
be saying. It was Pro Football Talk who reported it. So it's not like it's a fly-by-night news organization who did it. But to me, Caleb Williams, that's why I don't like Caleb Williams, because his ego is huge. He's got a huge ego.
I mean, he's my 4th-rated quarterback out of this class that I've seen.
Yeah, I got him at his ego 4. Is huge.
I think he's going number 1, but I think he's number 4. I think JJ McCarthy's the number 1 guy, guys.
I like Drake May a little bit more, because Drake May can actually run a little bit.
I got him as 2. McCarthy runs better than him, but
he doesn't run as much.
No,
he doesn't need to, but when he does, he runs.
Well, his team's better. The Carolina's good, but the Michigan is really good.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to run as much. They got better running backs. North Carolina running backs aren't that good.
Yep. So and I think Shadour's number 3. You know, those are the 3
I haven't
guys
seen enough from Shador yet. I want to see a little bit more from Shador.
Deion said he ain't coming out though.
He's growing right in front of your face.
Right. But he doesn't have to come out though. He grew up. He's got money.
He doesn't,
and all that,
but
so he doesn't have to come out.
He should, because they're not going to fix that line in time, and he's going to get bad habits with this pass rush.
Well, that's why I was telling you earlier this year, Zoe, about Colorado. Everybody was hyped up about Colorado being this great team. I said they ain't got the players to be a great team, man.
I knew they were gonna be better from last year, though.
Oh, they're better than last year, but they ain't got the players to be a good team.
No, not right now.
Yeah.
Now, those first 3 games, Shador would always go backwards to avoid a rush, and almost never avoid it.
Watch Tarkenton
He's now learning
film.
to climb the pocket.
Yeah.
He
What?
is getting better within
Yeah.
each game. So that's the stuff I look for.
I
But
can't remember where I saw it. I don't know if it was Instagram or if it was YouTube, but someone put Tarkenton film from when he was scrambling, and they put
Yeah.
Shedeur Sanders Tarkenton.
Yeah.
They put Shedeur Sanders scrambling, and the only way you can tell them apart is because one's black, one's white. But other than that, you can't tell the difference between them. They look identical with the way they were scrambling. But yeah,
and I mean, I'm sure that backwards stuff worked in high school and even that tier 2 college, but
well, dear,
at
yeah,
the big
DNs are
five,
running.
they're not. It's not working. So
Well,
he's
look
got to.
DNs are like Danielle Hunter are running 4.5s.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
he's getting better.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't want his
Yeah.
eyes dropping to the line of scrimmage, because then you're messing with breaking a guy. And
Right.
so I hope he comes out for his own sake, but he'll
He may
probably stay.
get more seasoning, come back next year, because they got the transfer portal in college football, so they can get a good offensive lineman that way. So he may wait. He doesn't need the money, obviously, but
No.
I'm sure.
But
he
it's
wants
about
to
getting
make
to that
it-
second contract.
Yeah, I'm
ASAP.
sure he wants to make his own wealth as his own person.
Right. And that's
you
what
know,
I would tell Caleb.
but,
Look, you
yeah.
you can own a league. It's called working, getting paid,
Yep.
being great, making a bunch of money, endorsements, and then go buy your portion of a team.
Yes.
Well, you just want it handed to you? No, that's a red
Yes,
flag.
he does. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's. I mean,
no.
but no, this would be the year that if the Vikings end up doing what they always do, going on a run. Now, I picked them to win Sunday only because San Francisco's injuries, but they could still get their ass beat. If they get their ass beat this week, then I'm done.
Well, our offense is
then,
as guilty of giving up points as our defense is.
well, I know
It's a 50-50 proposition,
but you
man.
got to keep in mind that their left tackle's hurt, and their two best offensive players are hurt. So
I get that.
and their
But we
defense,
have a
their defense
subpar
is still
defense
nasty, but
with a great defensive coach.
right. And we were the last show I was on Rap's show. I said if the 49ers score more, if they score more than 19 points, then they're going to win, because I don't think the Vikings can get more than at the most 20 on this defense. Right. 49ers are going to have to mess up on offense and give the Vikings a short field for them to score.
And I don't think
I'm
being crazy in throwing this out into the stratosphere, saying I think the offense will be directly responsible for 10 points against us. I think the 49ers will get 10 points by virtue of our offense.
I could believe
and that might be enough to win right there.
See, here's the thing, though. They've already turned the ball over enough this season. Eventually, the turnovers for the offense have got to stop. So I don't know when that's going to happen. It could be the next game. It could be this game. I don't know. Eventually, the turnovers are going to have to stop. I think they turned the ball over once last week, I think. So the turnovers are going down. So if they don't turn the ball over, like I said, they almost have to play a perfect game to beat a 49er team that has a lot of injuries.
Oh, if we don't turn the ball over, we're 5-1 or 6-0. That's the frustrating part about this team.
Yeah.
But we do turn the ball over, and we're facing the best defense in the NFL.
So I mean, we'll find out. Plus, it's Monday night.
And we got Kirk Cousins, who shits himself if there's any monicum of weight to a game. And we play on Monday Night Football, right? Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kirk will good for 14 against us. Scratch the 10. He's going to give San Fran 14. And that's enough to beat us right there. 14-6. Maybe we get 2 field goals. I don't know. I mean, that quarterback on the other side, you're going to see what a quarterback can do.
No.
He doesn't necessarily.
I am not going to go that far with Blackburn. I am not going to go that far with Purdy. He is 100% a system quarterback, just like Garoppolo was.
He might be, but the guy can avoid a pass rush. And
they still do not throw outside the 20s.
He's only got 1 loss in his career. That was last week.
That's because his team is awesome that he plays for.
Well, that's a catch-22. I don't think Kirk can win with San Fran.
Me neither.
Oh, we thought the 49ers. The 49ers, they would be undefeated if they had Kirk.
Hell no.
Because they would not a lot last week if they had Kirk Cousins, because Kirk Cousins actually has arm strength. Purdy doesn't.
You were there. I said Baker Mayfield's going to outplay Kirk and win the game.
He didn't. That first game of the season, he did not play out Kirk.
He ran that first down when it mattered most, when the plays mattered most. Statistically, Kirk beats everybody, right? But then when he has the worst statistical games, that's when we win.
That's why the win-loss. That's why win-loss records to me is a useless. To me, you can talk about all the stats you want. To me, the win-loss stats for a QB is the most useless stat out there.
But Ty, who is the highest paid player on the football team?
It's not Cousins is not the highest paid player in the Vikings anymore.
No, I'm saying the normal person, when the contract is up, the quarterback is the highest paid player on the football team.
Usually, but that's the position. Even bad quarterbacks are paid a lot of money.
Yeah, like Kirk. Yes, agreed. You're going to get a.
So you and I disagree on
Cousins.
Purdy. I don't think Cousins is a bad, awful quarterback.
I think JJ McCarthy is a little bit faster, bigger, better version of Purdy. That's why I like.
But
McCarthy
we don't know
so
though.
Much.
We don't, because Purdy was the last pick in the NFL draft.
Exactly, from Iowa State.
So, but what I'm saying is, you don't know how a quarterback in his rookie year is going to play.
No, but all you can look for are traits, right? If you fall in love with a guy with a big arm, those guys usually don't have to throw with anticipation. When you got a guy who has a weaker arm like Purdy, they have to throw before the break. They have to throw with anticipation. Joe Montana told everybody how the quarterback positions played with one sentence, and nobody caught on to it. He said, "I throw balloons to darts. I don't throw darts to balloons." And that sums up the whole damn position. Now, if you can move in the pocket and around and gain yards running like Purdy does, and McCarthy certainly will, those guys both throw with anticipation. Cousins does not throw with anticipation. He throws darts at balloons.
Until Brady, Montana was the best quarterback to ever play the game until Brady came along.
Yeah, who grew up watching Montana.
So, I mean, 5-0 in Super Bowls, never threw it. 5-0 in Super Bowls, never threw an interception. I mean, he never threw an interception.
And Brady throws with anticipation too.
So,
well,
I mean, just because you have a big arm doesn't mean, like Dan Marino threw with anticipation too, and he had a huge arm.
But most big arm quarterbacks.
So you're saying Cousins is big arm
because they don't need it. The ones that do have it are smart enough to develop it and do it, but it's not many. Out of 20 big arm quarterbacks, you're probably talking about 3 of them that do it. And Kirko isn't one of them. He throws darts at balloons. He doesn't throw balloons at darts.
Well, it helps if they catch the ball too. But
and what happens when you throw a dart? It narrows your margin for error. What could be a 8-yard by 8-yard square you got to drop the ball in. When you throw a Kirko dart, you got like freaking 2 yards by 2 yards to get that ball complete.
But you can't throw the ball too soft though.
McCarthy and Purdy do it just fine. I get the extreme that if you throw it too soft, then there's a problem, right? But you rarely have to throw the Kirko pass. The stick it and hit the target that's not moving, you're probably throwing 3 of those an entire game. You don't base an entire style of play off that and expect to win football. That,
but you can throw with anticipation, but that's more that goes back to
Drew
the
Brees,
system, the plays.
Think of all the great quarterbacks like that. Really.
Well, no, I know, I get what you're saying, but that goes back to another issue the Vikings have is the play calling. It sucks.
I've been hearing this, and maybe it does, but if you call a play and Kirko's the painter, and you say, "Hey, paint me up a house on a hill with a child over here holding a balloon," Kirko's painting is going to look a lot different than Brock Purdy's painting. Okay, it's the same play call, but vastly different paintings, right?
I wouldn't say they're the same playing call because they run.
You need running those calls.
They run 2 different offenses.
He's Ron Burgundy. You got to tell the guy to spike a ball on first down with 40 seconds left and no timeouts. You got to tell a guy to get the play clock going on 4th down with the game in balance, and he takes a delay a game.
I've seen Tom Brady take delay games too in the same situation. But it's just I understand why people don't like Kirk Cousins, but we have to stop acting like he's one of the worst QBs in the league. He's not.
Yes, that's your opinion. That's your opinion.
He's not. And everybody will tell you he's not.
And that's great.
But the thing that's frustrating,
I think he's one of the worst in the NFL.
Me too. I feel the same way you feel.
What I'm saying is that he's better than people think. He's the problem with Cousins, and the biggest thing with Cousins to me is the thing that makes it so frustrating with him is that he has the ability to do things that he just doesn't mentally do. Like if it's 3rd and 3, there's a big hole in front of him. He's fast enough to run for the first down. He doesn't do it. Or move to the, like in the pocket, move to the left, move to the right, get out of the way of the pass rush instead of just turtling. The offensive line was really bad, so that kind of helps with that. But your offensive line's actually been playing better this year. But that's the stuff that aggravates me about Cousins is that I know physically he can do that stuff. He just mentally, something doesn't process in his mind for him.
Well, he makes business decisions.
Right.
He's a businessman.
He would rather.
And when people defend Kirk, I'm looking at it the other way. I'm not looking to bash or defend Kirk. What I'm saying is I believe in our offense so much that, God damn, how would it look with a better quarterback or a different quarterback?
I think KOC is struggling to call plays.
So we think KOC don't know how to call plays as opposed to thinking Kirk is ass.
I think it's a combination of both. That's why the offense is so bad.
Yeah, 90 Kirk,
there's
10
no
KOC.
I think it's more like that because the offense was good last year with Cousins. So why all of a sudden are they bad this year?
They wasn't. No, wait. They wasn't that good last year.
They go second and third quarter without scoring.
Top 8. They led the league last year in 3 and outs.
Yep.
The offense. They were a top 8 offense last year. It doesn't matter how many.
That gets back to the statistics. This game's about time of possession.
No, how many times? Okay. How many times did Kirk Cousins lead the team back the last 2 years before this year? Right? The year when Zimmer's last year, the Vikings, Kirk Cousins gave the Vikings the lead 9 times. The defense blew every single one of those games in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Last year, how many times did he come back for the Vikings to win?
Stanzo.
No, I'm not a Kirk. No, I will defend him when he needs to be defended. But I also, Zoe knows this. I defend Kirk when he needs to be defended. I also criticize Kirk when he needs to be defended. What I hate, we talked about this on Rap Show, is the people who are 100% blame everything on Kirk Cousins because it is so. And then there's also people who 100% say Kirk Cousins can do no wrong. Those are the two people that, as Viking fans, that we need to separate because
it ain't
not everything is Kirk Cousins' fault.
But T.Y., you know what it is?
What is
we tired? We tired.
I understand. I don't think Kirk Cousins. I don't think Kirk Cousins
get the same result.
I don't think Kirk Cousins can win the Super Bowl.
To blame Kirk, it's actually very logical to say get rid of the piece that's been constant for 6 years.
We tired.
Constantly average.
This team has not been consistent for 6 years.
Yeah, they've been consistently average. They've had Kirko for 6 years.
So with
we've had a top defense with Kirko.
So they were
had a top receiver with Kirko. We've had an offensive coordinator hired for Kirko.
So
it's not enough. It's not enough.
So what you're saying is that
we have a better chance of winning with Jaron Hall than we do Kirko right now. I would love to see a trade with Kirko go down just to see Jaron Hall go through the process of learning to be a quarterback. Maybe JJ gets on the field. Yeah, I think we win more games with Jaron.
No, that's nonsense.
How?
Jaron Hall. So now you're saying that
he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL.
No, he's not. The general consistency for Kirk Cousins is that he's a top 15 quarterback.
No, you're not.
Yes, he is. If you talk to every you two,
I get it. I just don't agree
seem
with
to
how
know
they measure
more
a quarterback
than all the so-called people who rate quarterbacks for a living.
Yeah.
Every person who rates a quarterback for a living says Kirk Cousins is the top 15 quarterback.
Yes.
Which is where he is. That's not saying the top 15 quarterback.
Hey, T.Y., can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why do the Minnesota Vikings average 1 or 2 touchdowns per game?
I'm saying the whole offense is struggling this year, not just the quarterback. The offensive play calling has been bad this year.
That's your excuse.
I'm not saying that. Where did I say it wasn't partly Cousins' fault?
Well,
the problem is the issue is I am saying it's Cousins' fault. He's not playing well this year, and it's KOC's fault. You guys are saying it's 100%.
But I'm
telling
you though. But
Well,
Kirk
it won't be
last year-
revealed till we get a
When
new
last
quarterback.
year,
Then we'll be
they
proven
both
right.
played well. Cousins
Right.
and KOC
When
called good
Kirko
plays.
leaves and we get the rookie QB in here, everyone will be like,
I'm not saying keep Kirk Cousins. I'm
but
not
all I'm
saying
saying,
that.
no, we're
Ty,
not saying you're saying that.
Yeah, I'm
But
just
I'm
saying
all I'm
that
saying
we
is,
can't prove ourselves right until Kirko leaves the field.
but my thing is, Ty, as a Kirk Cousins,
right.
as a quarterback, you had the right to call audible at the line of scrimmage, and you had the right not to throw the ball out to fucking CJ Ham.
I got a question though. Are you in the? Here's a question, serious question, and I do not. I don't do this.
No, go,
I don't do this as a fan. I hate it when other people do. First of all, we're not in the huddle. We don't know what was called.
He said it.
We don't know if we don't know if an audible was called or not. We don't know that. We don't know what the play was before that. We don't know what was talked about before that. We don't know any of that stuff.
So then how can you say the play calling is bad when defending Kirko?
Because when you watched, I never said it wasn't partly Kirk Cousins' fault. I didn't say that.
No, but you're blaming KOC
you two,
on one hand.
I'm talking about you
hand,
two specifically.
We don't know what was called. We don't know all these things. Yeah, you
can watch the plays and see that throwing a tight end screen is not a good play call.
Maybe
so
that's the only play KOC thinks Kirk can freaking do. I mean, KOC is the most positive guy I've ever seen, and every other image
I don't care if that he's
him
positive.
on the sideline just beside himself going,
I don't care
what
that
can
he's
I
positive.
do?
I don't care that he's positive.
I think he's losing
that doesn't make he's a good
with Kirk.
That doesn't mean he's a good coach. I think the league knows what KOC is. I don't know if KOC is adjusted yet. But what I'm saying is I think it's the whole offense is struggling. That's KOC, that's Kirk Cousins, that's the receivers, tight ends, running backs dropping balls. But you two are saying that it's all Kirk Cousins.
Can I ask you this question though? You say the whole offense is struggling, right? You would mainly say, could we dropping passes, right?
Cousins has hit these guys in the hands and they've dropped passes.
And they drop. No, I'm saying when we dropping passes, right?
Right.
But we see a Kansas City Chiefs who go out every day, every Sunday, and drop hella passes, and they still get wins.
Because they're a better team.
Because they have the best quarterback.
Well, any idiot who says Kirk Cousins is better than Patrick Mahomes is an idiot. Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the league.
It's just
I don't think they have a better team. They have a better.
No, their team's better.
You go position by position. I think we got Kansas City. It's the quarterback that's the difference between those.
We may have them in wide receiver, but they definitely have a better.
We have them at wide receiver. We have them at defensive end. We have them all over the place. They've got Kelsey.
Maybe defensive end. Maybe not their interior defensive line.
TJ
not their interior offensive line.
We got him at offensive tackle.
No, yes. So we might have them at DN, tackles, and receivers. That's about it. Their interior offensive line is
the main position they got to beat at is that quarterback.
Right. But you got to keep in mind, Mahomes is what?
But at the
12?
same time,
so other teams miss on Mahomes too.
But at the same time, it's time to move on.
And Andy Reid is also better than KOC.
Kirk Cousins is not a good quarterback. Now, one time, have you watched the Minnesota Vikings offseason and said the 49ers is in trade talking with Kirk Cousins? The 49ers never, ever wanted Kirk Cousins. That's a sign right there.
No, John Lynch didn't want Kirk Cousins. Kurt Shanahan did want Kirk Cousins.
What exactly? Why did John Lynch want Kirk Cousins?
Because he costs too much money is the main reason.
No, he ain't no good quarterback.
Kirk Cousins, okay. No, see, Kirk Cousins is the quarterback to where if you're a head coach and you want him to run this particular play and this is the way you want him to run it, Kirk Cousins is the perfect quarterback for that system. Kirk Cousins is not a Patrick Mahomes guy where he improvises, he throws sidearm, he throws behind his back, he scrambles. Kirk Cousins is not that quarterback. If you want a quarterback to run the system that you want it to run, you want it to run the exact way that you want it to run, Cousins. I already said I don't want Cousins to resign. I've already said that.
No,
I don't want him back.
But all I'm trying to figure out though is this though. I done seen Brock Purdy on a lot of plays throw the football on broken plays. I never seen Justin Jefferson or TJ get the football on a broken plate for the Minnesota Vikings.
Then you're not watching closely.
You seen them plays?
Kirk Cousins, just because the play doesn't go perfectly doesn't mean Kirk Cousins. He messes up sometimes. He doesn't mess up every broken play.
In that it's off script and he's
He
buying
goes off script
time,
sometimes,
pointing a receiver to an area and then throwing a ball.
Kirk
We haven't
Cousins
seen
do
that.
that?
So because you don't see him running, pointing to somebody, that doesn't
Well,
mean
that's a
that.
broken play. I'm
That's
just
a
defining
broken
No,
what
but
a
I'm
play.
broken
saying,
play is
but
because if you
what
think
I,
you've
Too evil.
seen
What's the
one,
deal, my
you
guy?
haven't.
what I am saying though is that I understand what you guys are saying, but what I'm saying is that not everything is 100% Cousins' fault. Is he the common denominator of the last 6 years?
No one's
He's not the
claiming
only.
that he's 100%
He's not
at
the only
fault.
common denominator the Vikings have had the last 6
Yes.
years.
Y'all look
Yep.
good this year, though.
So
Y'all look good this year.
So
Yeah,
I'm just
absolutes
saying
don't
that
exist.
what I am saying is there most people I think most people are in the middle with Cousins. We know who he is. We know we're not going to win the Super Bowl with him, but he's not one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. Then you have people who blame Kirk Cousins for everything, and then you have people who think nothing's Kirk Cousins' fault. I'm not like that. I am in the middle. I
But
know
we not win a shoot with Kirk Cousins.
I said Kirk Cousins is a quarterback you can't win with, but not every time we lose, it's not his fault. He has to have, and plus, here's another thing. The Vikings also know what type of quarterback Kirk Cousins
we gonna win.
is, and he hasn't. The Vikings haven't helped him. So when you have a quarterback and you know what that quarterback's limitations are, you need to help that quarterback with his limitations. The Vikings have not done that either. So this is like a whole organizational issue to where they don't care. I don't care how they fix it. It needs to be fixed. We do need a quarterback with a rookie contract to help this team. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think they need to get rid of Kirk Cousins. This needs to be Kirk Cousins last year in purple. But I am telling you guys this now. I am not saying I want this to happen, but do not be surprised if they extend Kirk Cousins one more year
I go crazy
to help the dead cap space that the Vikings have.
That would be
go
a death
crazy.
nail.
I'm just saying, don't be surprised if it happens. I don't want it to happen, but
I
don't
would
be surprised if it does.
in a quarterback class.
I mean,
I'm not saying they won't draft a quarterback.
I get that.
I'm saying they may sign Cousins for one more year because his dead cap space is so high.
No.
If they
I don't think
him,
Cousins will take a 1-year deal.
I don't think so either, and I think that's the saving grace. Because I think the Vikings will only sign in for 1 year because it will help the dead cap space. But they get Daniil, even if they trade Daniil Hunter, that dead cap space is still going to be on the roster for Daniil Hunter.
Yep.
So that's still going to be there. And Davenport, when they get rid of Davenport, he's also going to have dead cap space.
Yep.
So
we've got a lot of dead cap issues, but we're still going to have a mountain of money next year.
Well, no, I hope so, and I hope they
like
draft
$70 million.
I hope it's May. I hope for some reason, I hope the Bears screw up and they screw up their or they keep Justin Fields and they don't take a quarterback, and then we can trade because I think the Bears are going to have the first 2 picks because they got Carolina's pick and they had their pick, and those are the 2 worst teams in the league. So I hope for some reason we can put a package together and get the 3rd pick because the Vikings will do what they always do. They will find a way to screw up not having a top 3 pick, because even the Vikings have also been unlucky because there have been seasons when the Vikings have gone 3-13 and 4-12, but there's always 2 or 3 teams or 4 teams that are worse than them. They've always been that lucky that way as well. I think if they lose Sunday or Monday, I think they should blow it up. I think Daniil Hunter has a no trade clause. He can pick where he wants to go. He can make sure.
Who's this?
He's a Lions fan. He comes in here all the time.
Who he do?
He's been he's a Lions fan, and all of a sudden decides to go into other teams' chats because his team's finally good.
He from your page?
No, well, he shows up on the post game shows of other people's shows and stuff like that. He shows up on Viking show, but it's it's fine. Let the Lions fans talk. I
thought I knew him though,
I think he might have been. I think he might have been in the show we did last week. I think he might have shown up for that. Well, like I said, a lot of Lions fans have been respectful. There are some out there that are just crazy, but Nug's pretty good. He's pretty down to earth. He's happy.
Got Sarah tapped in with us. 2 evils. Sarah.
So like I said, don't be surprised if they try to re-sign Cousins for at least 1 more year just to help the dead cap space. I think they should draft a quarterback.
I knew you come from Detroit.
Yeah, I think they should draft a quarterback. There's a lot. This is a good quarterback draft. So any one of them, whether it's McCarthy, whether it's May, whether it's Williams,
It don't even
whether
matter.
it's
Shit.
Penix, whether it's I don't want Bo Nix. He's the one I don't want. But as long as
you like Drake May?
Drake May
is horrible.
No, I don't know what games you've been watching. They're undefeated
because
of Drake May. He's undefeated. They're undefeated because of Drake May. They have no running game.
Who had they play?
What, North Carolina?
Yeah.
Well, I saw them week 1 against my boys, against my squad, South Carolina. I saw him week 1 against them.
South Carolina trash.
The reason they won that game was because of Drake May, and I've seen him a couple other times. But I mean, they've played some. I don't have North Carolina's schedule in front of me, but they've played some good teams this year. But they're one of the few undefeated teams
after the bye.
But no, I like I said, if they lose Monday night, they need to, see.
If they lose Monday night, it's time to trade KJ to KC or to the Chargers.
Harrison Smith,
Danielle Hunter. Go ahead, trade them. Get some draft capital.
Unfortunately, Cousins is not going to do his way. There's no trade.
Man, I don't care about Cousins. Cousins ass can hit the bench and hold the clipboard.
Yep. Because I want to see Jaron Hall get some experience to be a good backup quarterback.
I don't know if the Wilfs. I don't know if they'll. I don't know. It's hard to say if they'll do that or not. I don't know.
But what's the point? You out the playoffs. What's the point? No, I feel you though. You don't know though. I feel you.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to see what Jaron Hall has, because if Jaron Hall proves to be above average quarterback,
I think Fields is a bust.
You can win in this. You can win in the NFL with above average quarterback on a rookie contract.
There's nothing wrong with Hall being a good backup either, and just confirming, hey, we can go to war with this guy for 3 weeks or 2 weeks. That's fine. That's valuable. See, I want to see how good this team is with a different quarterback.
I don't think you're going to see that as long as Cousins here.
Well, yeah, I know, but this team, it needs to have a vision. It needs to.
They don't have one right now.
Have a set of balls, and if they wanted to extend Kirk for 1 year, that would be waving a flag saying that they have no vision, they have no answers. Even if they draft a quarterback, why have a quarterback sit behind him for a year, and not play?
Well, no, I'm not disagreeing with you. I am talking more to the point of what I think the organization is going to do. They don't want that $28.5 million cap hit, dead cap space next year.
Fuck it, eat it, man. Fuck it, eat
they
it.
They need to, because once they eat it, I think Davenport is also the next year as well, because he signed a 2-year contract, and the Vikings aren't paying him much this year. Yeah. So I think next year, 2 years, Davenport's going to be on the dead cap space, but if they draft a quarterback next year, I don't care if they go 2-14. I don't care if they go 3-13, 2-15, or 3-14 with that rookie quarterback, because then the year after next, 2025, you're getting all that dead cap space.
We talked about that. We talked about that earlier.
All that dead cap space is gone. So
he said, "ATY."
No.
You say no? Shit, me and David say hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. The Bears would never do that either. That's how bad a trade that would be. Because it's not about having those picks. It's about
I'm not afraid of them.
Get trading them.
I'm not afraid of them with Justin Fields, but just Fields with Justin Jefferson. And Chicago always, the one thing Chicago always seems to find to do, even though they can never find a quarterback, they always seem to, no matter who's running the team, what coach, what GM, the Bears always go on a run where they have a top 5 defense 4 or 5 straight years. So if you have a halfway decent quarterback, which is what Justin Field is, with Justin Jefferson and that other receiver they got, I can't think of his name right now.
DJ Moore
with a top 5 defense, that would be scary for the Bears.
Yeah,
because the
they're
Bears
quite
have
a few
proven.
picks away from a top 5 defense, but
Yes,
they're not, that trade would
that trade would never happen, so it's fantasy
no,
land. But
they
I think
wouldn't
the
do it for the
players,
number 1 pick by
the,
itself.
the Vikings need to keep both their tackles and Justin Jefferson. Those are by far the 3 players they need to keep, unless you get like, if it's not the Bears, but say like it's another team that has 2 low first round picks, and you're not going to sign Justin Jefferson. It comes out that you guys just can't work out a deal, then yeah, I can see getting 2 1s and stuff like that. Because the Vikings are pretty good at finding receivers. That's one thing as an organization they have been good at. So, but I would not want that to go to the Bears because, like I said, the Bears always find a way to have a top 5 defense. And Justin Fields is with a top 5 defense. Justin Fields and 2 receivers of JJ's caliber and DJ Moore's caliber.
No,
That's
I
a team
trade.
that
I
that
would
team-
trade. I would trade there. So it's too evil.
no,
I
he hasn't.
would.
He has not. I know you don't like his. You think he gets hurt too much. I think his injury is average NFL player, but he has not allowed a pressure. He's pretty much. I think he's allowed 1 pressure the last 2 years. You can't trade a guy like that, man. Especially if you bring in a rookie quarterback. Yeah, you can't. You cannot. If you get a franchise left tackle, you can't trade those guys, man, because left tackles are actually almost as hard to find
Man,
as
what
franchise
did
quarterbacks.
Houston got some shit for their old tackle they traded to Miami? They got like 2 first round draft picks and another draft pick for that
and
old tackle.
And how is the tackle situation for the Texans now? And they've had first round pick. Their tackle situation is not
You
very
gotta
good.
learn how to draft. Shit.
CJ Stroud's looking pretty good at quarterback, though.
For one, which is weird because he's an Ohio State quarterback.
Right? But I think if we get a rookie quarterback and we start him right away, I think we're shooting for the playoffs. I think we're moving forward. I don't see a 2-win or 3-win season ahead of us. Not by any means. I think that quarterback's going to show up here and go,
He getting injured
holy
too
shit,
No,
much.
what
these
I'm
are
saying-
the guys I get to throw to. Holy
I'm
shit,
not
this
saying
offensive
they're
line
gonna
is
go.
great.
I'm not saying they're going to go
Yeah,
3 and
Tunsil, they got a
13,
lot of draft pick for him.
3
They
or
got a lot of
14,
draft pick for him.
or I'm not saying they're going to go 2 and 15 or 3 and 14. I'm just saying if they did and
You
they
wouldn't
had a
mind
rookie
it.
quarterback, I
Yep.
wouldn't mind it. Yeah,
I get that.
yeah.
But if we do, that means our rookie quarterback probably isn't the right one.
Well,
That's
that's not necessarily true because there's teams that are not very good, but the quarterback it's like they would be they'd have no wins, but say like the reason they have the 3 wins is because the quarterback got them the 3 wins.
Well, it's
But
a paradox.
Yeah.
You usually have a bad team when you have a rookie quarterback, a la a top 3 pick, right? But if you get JJ McCarthy at pick 17 and you're the Vikings with a great offensive
if the Vikings
team,
get
you're going to have a good you're going to win games.
If the Vikings get JJ McCarthy at 17, I would fucking be like, I would try to get the pick in before the 16th team to get JJ McCarthy at 17.
Right?
I don't know if he's going to be there, but that would.
He gonna be there.
Regardless, we don't need a top 3 pick to get a quarterback that can.
No, not this
Kirko.
year. Not this year. No.
Because my whole premise, regardless of whether Kirko's fault or not fault, to me, it's all a big waste of time. It's what does this offense that I know is good, what is it going to look like with a competent quarterback who can throw with anticipation and move and sense pressure? That's all it is. And we won't know the answer until we get the quarterback and get him out there and play. And I have a pretty good idea. I know what the answer is. We're going to win a lot of freaking ball games. And yes, the defense definitely still needs improvement, no doubt. But if we can get some first downs, as Zoe was alluding to, and possess the ball for some of these games during a season, your defense is going to move up 5 spots just by that alone.
So, Sarah, what's that an answer to? Is that the 2 firsts for JJ to the Bears? Or were you talking about something
I think
else?
that might be Darisaw.
Oh, trading Darisaw? Oh, yeah.
I would trade him. I'll trade Darisaw 2 first round picks.
Like I said,
it's funny, when you talk about getting picks for players, the picks don't look as good when you put names to them.
Yeah.
Almost every time. And when Kwesi drafts them, you would take Lewis Seen and Jordan Addison for Darisaw?
Don't buy into McCarthy hype.
So far,
I'm a Michigan fan. I'm buying into the hype.
My mom's a Michigan fan too. My mom's from Michigan.
Me too.
So
where's she from?
My mom's from Jackson.
My people from. I got people in Jackson.
Yeah. My mom,
Your
both
mom from Jackson.
my mom and my here's a funny story. Both my mom and my dad are from Jackson, Michigan, right?
Yeah.
They did not know each other when they lived in Michigan. They both moved to Florida 5 years apart. They moved to Florida.
They ain't know each other in Jackson.
No, they met when they were in Florida.
Wow,
Jackson's
that's
not very
crazy.
big.
Because
And my mom,
Jackson ain't that big.
my mom is actually glad that they moved because we got to talk. We got to keep in mind this is the 50s. My mom was actually glad that they moved out of Jackson because she did not want to go to the high school. She didn't want to go to Sexton High School because it had the word sex in it.
So, TY, you ever been to Jackson before?
No, the only city I've ever been in Michigan, well, other than driving through, is Pontiac.
Oh, Pontiac. Yeah, that where the Lions used to play at.
Yeah, that's because we had family who still lived in Pontiac. All the family moved to Florida, you know.
Okay.
So, yeah, like I was in Pontiac like in 88, 80, something like that. Yeah. But yeah. I've actually been to Michigan more than I've been to Minnesota.
Yeah, Michigan I think Michigan right now about winning everything.
Right now, they're saying McCarthy's more of an end of first, early second round pick. I'm sure they're going to be moved up as time goes on.
Michigan
but not
goes
every
undefeated.
team needs a quarterback, right? And there's 8 of these guys in the draft, or 6 for sure. 6 good ones.
I think Bo Nix is going to, when teams really look at the film on Bo Nix, I think he's going to drop because yes, he's playing well in Oregon. But again, that goes back to it being Oregon and the system. When he was in Auburn, when he played against SEC schools week in and week out, he was not a very good quarterback.
Hey, David, you see that question for you?
Oh, yeah. I watched him last week. I didn't like the way he threw the ball.
Well, he's a lefty. It's always going to look weird.
No, I'm left-handed too. He dips his throwing elbow similar to what Richardson does.
So hopefully they can fix that.
It doesn't look very repeatable to me. And he has the prior injury history, right. And I never saw him really run. Well, maybe I don't know if he can move.
Maybe that's why he throws the way he does is because of the prior injury.
Maybe I was out on Penix after watching him play and beat Oregon.
But
I get it, and he threw a flatter ball, kind of like Cousins in that way, where he voluntarily narrows his margin for error to 3 by 3 yard space, and he hits it to his credit. I just don't think long term that's. I want a guy who can get out of the way and throw with anticipation.
Yeah,
Shador and McCarthy are my top 2.
Yeah, too evil. Go back and watch Bo Nix's Auburn film. You would not like what you see.
I don't like Bo Nix.
Yeah, go back and it's easy to be good in the Pac-12 where you play maybe 3 teams that are good a year, as opposed to the SEC where even the bad teams in the SEC will give you a fight in the division. That's why people don't understand about. Yeah, you may beat like Texas, they may beat Alabama, so they go back after they beat Alabama, they go back to playing the cupcakes in their conference. The thing about the SEC is you got Alabama one week, you got Georgia the next week, you got LSU the next week, you got Ole Miss the next week, you got Mississippi State, you got Texas A&M, you got Florida, you got Tennessee. That's why the SEC is considered the best conference, because they're really Vanderbilt, who's by far the worst team in the SEC, and the only reason they're in the SEC is because of academics. And their basketball team and their baseball team is pretty good. But if you take Vanderbilt out of the SEC,
I don't believe that.
The worst team,
the
worst team in the SEC is probably better than the fourth around. I would probably say would probably be top 5 in almost every other.
How y'all feel about him? I ain't really too hip on him.
He didn't.
Yeah, I haven't looked at him. And there's another name floating around. What is it? A Florida State quarterback?
Jordan Travis.
Jordan Travis.
I have no idea.
Yeah, he's nice.
His improvement from when he first started to now, you can see the progression. He is so much better now than when he first started.
Yeah,
that's what you like about Jordan Travis, is that you can see that he takes coaching very well. They totally changed the way he throws the ball, the way they did everything from Jimbo Fisher to Norvell, the guy they have now. because I think his rookie year was Fisher's last
That's
year.
bullshit. That's all capping bullshit.
It's so much better. Now that so you can actually see that he takes coaching well. Shador, the thing about Shador Sanders is this is the only thing I question is that he's only ever played for his dad, so we don't know how good he is outside the influence of his dad.
Well, and that's why, I want Hall out there to get experience as a backup quarterback, but I also want to see how KOC works with a young quarterback in game mode
Right, I
when
get you.
bullets are flying so that he gets the draft pick, the quarterback he wants. And I'd love nothing more than Penix to be great and prove me wrong. And that if
Shit,
KOC
nobody.
wants him, then that's
need a
cool. I'll take
quarterback.
whoever KOC wants, but I want to see KOC get his guy and work with his guy and be excited every week to call plays and nurture a quarterback. I think that's something that he would be very good at doing, and I don't think Kirk is that guy for him.
So let me answer this question from Two Evil. If the Vikings, let's say the Vikings go on that run and they still think they can make the playoffs, right? Like they usually do. Let's just say the Vikings end the season 7-10. If they do that, they're not gonna trade Danielle Hunter. Okay. So the only way that you ever, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, that you ever take a player in the top 10, if the Vikings pick her in the top 10, if he's not a quarterback, is either a left tackle or a defensive end. Those are to me, those are the only three positions you take in the top 10 if you're there. It's quarterback, left tackle, defensive end. Well, the Vikings do not need a left tackle, and if they re-sign Danielle Hunter, they definitely do not need a defensive end. So if they pick anybody else but a quarterback, especially if McCarthy is there, if Penix is there, if I'm having a blank crap. Caleb Williams is not going to be there, but if Drake May is there or any of those top quarterbacks are there and they pass on a quarterback and take I don't know, let's say they take a guard or linebacker or something or another defensive end. We should all go to the Vikings. We should all go to Eden Prairie, where the Vikings, or I think it's Eden Prairie, where the Vikings headquarters is at. We should pick it, and we should, have Kwesi come out and explain himself and the way the Vikings are right now, if you take anything other than a quarterback in the top 10, then I am definitely losing all my confidence, the very little that I have in the front office right now, if they don't take a quarterback with a top 10 pick.
The only caveat to that I have, and to Yogi's point a couple weeks back, is that if that Florida State kid, the outside linebacker, defensive end, pass rushers there, and say we have pick 6, I would be open with taking him at pick 6 if I knew McCarthy would be low enough in the round for us to springboard back into the round to get JJ McCarthy and have the Florida State kid. That would be the holy grail of all moves, because I don't think moving up to pick 1 or 2 for May or Caleb is a reasonable thing to do.
So what you're saying is if the Vikings are there at 6, and they take
the Florida State kid.
I cannot remember his name.
No, neither can I.
Jordan Travis.
No, the defensive end.
Yep, but you have to know
Reeve or something. It's something like
it's
a Reader or something. It's something like that. So what you're saying is they take him, and then let's say at pick 18,
they move back up.
McCarthy is still there. Would you trade?
You give up your second and next year's first, and you go up and get.
That's what I was going to ask you. Would you give up the second?
Yep.
So you wouldn't have another. So you wouldn't have a second round, and then next year's first round. And what if they asked for the third as well?
No.
We ain't got no third round pick.
I'm talking the third next year.
You have to have a few quarterbacks you're excited about that you're okay with falling to a range where you have a trade partner. And this is long term. What I'm alluding to is if Detroit wanted a quarterback,
JJ.
and Green Bay wants a quarterback.
Yeah.
We're probably better off just taking our quarterback with our own pick.
That's the guy right there, Verse.
Yeah, Verse. That's
I think he wears number 5.
But that's why I think you trade. That's why
we don't need a tackle.
Hunter. the question itself tells you to trade Danielle Hunter, because now you'll have more draft capital to make a move like that where you can get Verse
But
and
I
move
think
back into the first for your quarterback.
I think they only trade Danielle Hunter if they lose to San Fran. I think if they beat San Fran, they don't trade him.
I don't know what they're doing, but I mean, I think you should be trading these guys no matter the result of San Fran. But if they want to play that game and try to make the playoffs, I mean, I guess then we just draft McCarthy with our own pick.
Yeah, because the Wolves, the one thing the Wolves do not want to do is ever lose to Green Bay. So they got Green Bay coming up after the San Fran game. So if they beat San Fran, I think they want everything they can do to beat Green Bay. I think even if they lose to San Fran, they don't want to trade Hunter, but I think Kwesi will be like, hey, listen, we got to get something for him, because he's the best pass rusher in the NFL right now. I think he's 27. Or
buck up and pay the man.
That too. I mean, he's 27. If you sign him to a 5-year deal, upload the contract, so his first 3 years is when
he'll
you're
be
getting
29
value.
here in a week.
Yeah, so he's not past his prime. So he's right at his prime. So you sign him to a 5-year contract. You front load it with the first 3 years. You pay him his first 3 years. So that way, after he turns 30, if he starts to turn into dog poop, you're not paying him much the last 2 years.
Yeah, but this gets back.
But see, too evil.
Where I think the right move is
there's
to trade
3
Hunter.
positions you pay for in the NFL.
I agree with you.
There's 3 positions you pay for in the NFL. Too evil: defensive end, left tackle, and quarterback.
Yep.
Those are the 3 positions.
But
they don't have one. That's the issue.
Pick for Hunter.
That's the issue. They don't have a vision.
Right. Well, I just laid one out, and I don't even get paid to think about this all day like Kwesi would, right?
But here's the thing:
get Verse and get McCarthy.
Here's the thing,
Dave. 2 guys I'd write on my piece of paper.
Everybody in the chat, you, Zoe, and I, we all know what the Vikings' issues are. All the Viking fans who go to the stadium, they all know what the Vikings' issues have. Does this organization sign free agents, or do they draft players for those issues? No, they draft another wide receiver. They draft another corner. They draft another safety. To me, you got to fix the trenches before you fix anything else, because if you don't fix the trenches, nothing else matters.
We can't get away from the 2022 draft. There's no way around that. It was a bad draft.
The interior offensive line and the interior defensive line are booty. Now the interior offensive line has been playing better, but also look who they've played. So take that with a grain of salt.
Same thing. What's name gone next year? Cleveland gone next year.
Cleveland wants to play tackle.
I'm saying, but he a free agent next year.
Yeah, so he's 6'6", 330. He's perfect size for a tackle. He wants to play tackle.
Yep. So I would trade him too if you could for a 5th round pick.
Because we have Reisner now. You can trade Cleveland.
Yep. No, I would.
Yeah.
If I was GM, I would bench Kirk. I would trade Hunter. I would trade KJ. I would trade Ezra Cleveland. What's funny is I got Reisner. I can plug in. I got Addison. I can plug in.
I've done 2 shows in a row.
With Hunter gone, I can put Lewis Cine there.
Yeah, I mean, I would. Well, because in the words of T-Bass, Lewis ain't seeding. We have to see what he can do.
Right, you get him out there. Let him get his licks in.
It don't matter right now. The team ain't winning shit after Monday night. If we lose, shit, what difference?
The game now is to figure out what the hell you have on this team, so that you can go into the draft and get your quarterback and maybe get a pass rusher if you're lucky.
You may get pushback from the Players Association if they just bench Cousins.
Man, you can't tell me to do my damn team.
Well, we tried to trade him. It's up to Kirk if he wants to be dealt. Yeah. Atlanta's a very good fit for him. Your wife used to live there. You got married there. And I think actually, Kirko, you could win there because they have a great running attack with guard blocking play.
Yes.
You could win in Atlanta. That's the best place for you to go and sign an extension.
Too evil. That actually, with the way he is playing right now, you could probably get something for Hicks with the way he's playing right now. Because he's not very
I resign Hicks.
I want to see Asamoah out there. I want to see him out there playing.
But if I can get
let's
a fourth
identify
rounder
class
for
of 22 for what it is and get it out there and see what we got.
if I can get a fourth rounder for Hicks, I'm trading him.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I would love to
And
resign him
again,
because he's by far and away our best linebacker. But
look at who you're trading away. I get to see
Yeah.
Addison at the 2 spot. I get to see Reisner at guard, and I get to see Asamoah on the field. Those are 3
Yeah.
things I want, and I get draft picks for doing it.
Yeah.
You'd be a fool not to make these trades. I don't
Look,
give a shit about how the San Fran game turns out.
If a right tackle goes down, you can see Ezra Cleveland being traded to that team to play right tackle because he's a tackle. He's a tackle playing guard.
I agree.
You know,
he should
right
go
tackle.
somewhere where he could play tackle, and then they can talk extension from there if he looks good or not. But
nobody wants Madison, man.
It's about getting Reisner out there and finding out if we want to extend him.
Yeah,
because
he's not going to be expensive. Reisner's not going to be expensive.
No, I get that, but I want to see him play because maybe I draft a guard, right? But I'd rather draft a center than a guard. If Reisner is going to be my starting left guard, I want to get Operation Bradbury out the door started.
From what I understand, is that the only way, I can't remember where I saw it, is that as a player, the coaching staff and the organization, they like Bradbury, but they're concerned like his back injury. Like if he didn't have a back injury, they would redo. They would not even think about trading him, getting rid of him, or anything like that. The only concern they have is his injury. They actually like him. I think he's too small. I think he gets a really big defensive tackles, just push him out of the way like he's nothing.
Well, he always seems to be helping the guard that doesn't need the help. And then the other tackle, who's one-on-one with whichever guard, runs right behind Bradbury's backside and sacks Kirk. It's like he does it intentionally, So if you're going to get a new quarterback, get a new center with the new quarterback. Let them start together from day one. Let them freaking get that center exchange going in the preseason games. I want a center. I want a quarterback, and I want defensive linemen.
You can tell Nug's a Lions fan because the positivity.
Yeah, that motherfucker said, y'all be formed to a division.
If the league is giving me a second for Hunter, but the Lions are giving me a first for Hunter, I make that trade with the Lions because now I know they can't draft that quarterback, which I'm more afraid of than Hunter on Detroit.
I don't know, man.
Now I have 2 first-round picks going into a quarterback class.
Man, I gotta get out of here though, man. I gotta cook this food, man.
All right. Well, I said, this is my second show. I've been on for 4 hours. My voice is kind of gone. So if you want to,
and we back on it tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, David.
I probably won't be doing.
No, you don't need a QB now, but you will eventually. You have to see ahead of time.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow night.
Are you talking now?
Listen to my voice. So I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow night.
Yeah, man. I gotta get out of here, man.
So Dave, it's a pleasure always having you on this show.
All right, Dave. I appreciate you tapping in, man. I appreciate your knowledge, man. You be talking some real shit, man. And I like the shit. I love
the fact that we can argue like we did earlier about Kirk Cousins, and we don't hate each other. We're still like, hey, man, we agree on most things. There's just something,
Yeah, I like Hendon Hooker too, Nug, but
no, I don't like Tennessee's offense. Their offense, their offense is a no read offense.
Yeah, go Blue. Michigan win by 40 tomorrow, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Tap in with it tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, man. We back live. Skull Nation. Let's go Vikings.